Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go. Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go. Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go.
The KLAVR Flat Track Pod is brought to you by our partners 193 Racing, MX Inc., Classic Wheel Spokes and Otway Hydro Blasting, Rite Sport, Euroka Fencing, and of course, KLAVR Flat Track products. They support us, so go support them. Now on to the episode. Go Flat Tracker.
Before we carry on with this episode, I'd like to introduce our latest pod partner, Trac Rite Suspension. Whether you're a racer or a weekend warrior, Trac Rite have got you covered. Right, here we are. Exciting. The KLAVR Flat Track Pod, another episode. On this episode, Tom and myself are talking about two different events that we both travelled to over the weekend. We wanted to get it while it's nice and fresh and while we've both got some time, which is very limited for both of us at the moment, but that's a good thing because it means we're busy and we're doing stuff with the sport and doing stuff for ourselves to make money so we can go and race in the sport. So that's pretty cool. So I'll be covering the Yamaha Blue Crew Flat Track Nationals round 3 and 4 down at Albury Wodonga, which was sort of close to me, which was fantastic. And Tom's going to be telling us a bit about the Canberra Cup, which is obviously up in Canberra. ACT, isn't it? Is that the right name for the area?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Australian Central Territory, I think that stands for.
Capital Territory.
Well, capital. Yeah, close enough.
Bloody
yeah.
Kiwi.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was never good at geography. Still not. So let's get started. We'll get straight into it. Albury Wodonga, fantastic. We'll start with the track and everything. The track held up pretty good all weekend. So it was, for those that don't know, it was a 2-day event. First day is on the short track. Second day is on the TT track, which incorporate Albury's normal dirt track layout, which is a kidney bean shape, but instead of finishing off turn 2 in sort of halfway through between turn 1 and 2, which is as clear as mud, I know, when you're trying to describe it without pictures. And then it was really technical, but we'll start with day 1. Day 1 actually ran into the night, so the program started later. Saturday, I've got a what do you call it? A program, and they're very classy. They're all glossy. They've got a bit of information. It's got the overall standings. So Pro 450 junior lights and junior 85s, as twins and clubmen hadn't run yet. There's a few rider pictures there. And then just how the day's going to proceed. Bit of merch, bit of advertising. So it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So gates opened at 8 o'clock in the morning. Sign in was from 12:15. Sign in closed at 1:15. Then there was a riders briefing at 1:30. Practice got on the way with junior lights at 2 o'clock. So if anyone knows Albury Wodonga, it's right on the border of New South Wales and Victoria, and it's quite a warm place. Like compared to where I'm from in Victoria, it's probably about 10 degrees warmer. Always a tricky one. Do I bring levers and melt, or do I use nylons, MX nylons, and be a bit cooler? So I chose to melt because I feel a lot safer in my levers. And it actually wasn't too bad. I think it was about 18 degrees, something like that. So that really helped the track. Didn't get away from them at all on the Saturday. They put quite a bit of moisture in it, I believe, during the week, and it paid off. And then when it came out at night time, it did get a little bit skatey, but it was nothing, and like a little bit dusty, but you could still see clear enough. And they'll just go over it with the water truck and the wonder wheel, we call it, which is a big wheel with spikes on it, and just sort of bring that surface back over where it's brushed off, where the main sort of line. The main line, it was multiple line, the track, but it was probably about, my eye ruler isn't that fantastic, but I'm probably 3 to 5 meters wide. So like it wasn't real narrow. There was room for passing, and then they'd brush it back over, put a bit of water. I was just having a look at I can bring it up actually. I was just having a look at the result on compute time. So that, as most people are aware, there is no live streaming of these events at the moment, but you can follow the live timing, which tells quite a good story. On the qualifying, in the class I was in, which was Clubman Open, it was 15th for separation. I believe it's the same all across for us. And for us, it looked like, so what happened in qualifying, I was in group 1. So there's 2 groups. Group 1 goes out first. in the first qualifying session. And then in the second qualifying session, Group 1 goes out second, so they rotate it. And it looks like by the times, most of the people in Group 2 that got to go out first, they might have had a slightly better track, or they changed their setup, and most of them got a better time. A few at the back of the qualifying had slower times than their first session, as where in our session in Group 1, most of us did our best time in the first session. Just about everyone in the second session was slower. So the track was I do remember it being a lot slicker, but I felt faster, and I looked at my times and I was by a few hundredths of a second, but it just wasn't enough compared to the Group 2. That looks like they might have had a slightly better track. Which, that's what qualifying's about, and that's how it is. But unfortunately, that bumped me out by one spot. But anyway, I cried all afternoon and evening, walking around in my levers, hoping kindly at the same time that someone had a mechanical or something. But it never happened. The racing was fast and hot. There was a few injuries. Obviously, we send our best wishes to everyone that did get injured over the weekend, over both days. I'm not going to say names because I can't remember them all, and some of them I do know. I just hope they will recover speedy and quickly. There was pretty dicey racing, especially in the Pro 450 class A group. All over, actually, there was battles all over the place. The track was really racy. And I got to say, in the Pro 450A, I just about chewed my nails off in a couple of them. Like there was some wheel chopping going on. Like there was just there was no room for error, I suppose the right terminology. Like it was that close. The first race actually was really impressive. First Pro 450A group race, I would say, was like a freight train for the whole race. Like there was no separation. In the races later on in the evening, there became separation with the longer races. But in that first one, it was just like one big train, the whole race. It was bloody amazing. And if we go have a look at the race I'm talking to, so if we look at the lap times, look at that. So starting at Daniel Wicks, who did lead that race the whole time, I believe, he had an 18.011 his fast time, and then it goes from 18.011 right to the back of the field, 18.697.
Wow.
So not even a second in it,
Yeah, 700s, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how close the racing was. The times tell that story there.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah, no, she was pretty full on. That was impressive to watch. And then when we got later on in the night with the 15 lapper, I've got to say it was, for me, standing on the side watching, it was absolutely unreal. The 15 lapper reminded me again like to the Easter Trail sprint car race, where you know how they get the G-force going, the sprint cars, and you just go woo, 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 and it's just a constant. You couldn't quite feel it at the fence, or you sort of could. You could feel the vibrations, not quite as much draft as a sprint car with the big wings and everything, but it was definitely that sensation. It was fantastic. I thought that was brilliant. The twins turned it on as well. There was 7. Someone said to me, "Oh, we need more," but that's still good. Seven's not bad, especially when most of them weren't returners from last year. So there was only one CMF moto this year, which is number 1, Christian, and he had a battle on his hands actually with is it Luke Wildsmith?
Ashley Wildsmith.
Ashley. Yeah, with Ashley. Ashley did a great job on his bike. Unfortunately, Ashley didn't qualify in the clubman, but he did a great job in twin, which I actually haven't had a look at the times, but he must have been going faster on the twins because the twins times were actually up there, so they would have been competitive in other classes. Yeah, so well done, Ashley. Yeah, he made it look good, and Ryan New as well on the Kawasaki there. He came in 3rd. Yeah, so the twins racing was good. I heard quite a few comments about how good they sound, and they're not wrong. Yeah, so it will be good when there's more. I got lots of questions, of course. Why wasn't I out on the Harley? And the answer is very simple to that. I didn't want to wreck it. I'm going to raffle it off to help get the Victorian flat track up and running. So if you want a Harley, keep an eye out. I'm just freshening it up so that it's all good for you when you win it.
I won't be able to, I
So
won't be able to enter that raffle, unfortunately.
why not?
Because I reckon if I buy a ticket and I win it, everyone's going to go, oh, that's freaking rigged.
You can buy a ticket.
If my name gets pulled out, it'll be a redraw.
If anyone knows me, I'm pretty honourable and trustworthy. So we're not rigging nothing. If Tom wins it, it's sheer Irish luck.
Yeah, yeah, Aussie luck.
Okay, where is the Twins? Pro Twins qualifying. So let's have a quick look at their time. So their times 19.51s, right? So that was Ashley Wildsmith. So he was beating me on the single, and in the first session I qualified 12th.
Yep.
Christian O'Donnell pulling 19.9s. Then we go back in the field a little bit. Oh, I mean, not a tiny bit. Third and fourth were in 20s. Yeah, Bade Hunt up there on the back. He is on the smallest bike too, on the 21.97.
And look at the
9.4.
machines as well. You got Ducati, CF Moto, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Ducati, Kawasaki. So you've got
Yeah.
4 manufacturers in that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't
Yeah.
it? And yeah, Harley
Oh.
Davidson, when someone wins mine and goes racing it there.
Yeah, well, that's
That would be
right. Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Look, I was standing there going, "Fuck! I wish I brought it," but
Yeah.
I don't want to make the risk. I want to make the Victorian flat track happen, and that's really going to help. So yeah, but yeah, they were all like some of them, like Pete Smith. You'll see some stuff on social media. They machined up a triple tree and yeah, really made a push to get that thing on the track. It was all pretty last minute, and I think he's hardly ever ridden it, if ever ridden it. So he did really well on that. Actually, when you take that into consideration, it was a bit like my effort last year, two or three little 5-minute rides before we went racing on it, and yeah, you learn a lot once you get into that race environment, and you haven't
Oh,
had
yeah.
much time on it. So yeah, a bit of a crash course. The only thing, it's they still only get 3 races. I believe they should get more track time, as you know. I'm not going
Yeah.
to veer from that.
And that behind the scenes footage that Pete and Dave put up of the getting the triple clamps machined up and all that and everything as well.
Yeah,
That
that's
stuff's
pretty cool.
fantastic. I love seeing
Yeah,
builds like that and how things come together and whatever else. So yeah, massive. Yeah, hats off to those boys for sure.
so you saw that then? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. No, I've got Dave and Pete on Facebook.
Junior lights
Unfortunately,
qualifying.
Dave's still in a neck brace and looking a bit ginger, but hopefully he recovers and gets back on the bike soon.
Yeah, he's recovering and doing all the things he shouldn't be.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that too.
But yeah, hopefully he does. Should we do qualifying or race? No, qualifying. So junior lights, all the junior classes, the kids should, be patting themselves on the back, whether they're at the front or the back. Their times are amazing. So combined, I'll go. So if you look at Jed 5, he would have qualified in A group in Pro 450s.
Wow.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think most of them would have.
Yep.
So they were pulling, low 18s,
Yep.
fastest lap 18.229, followed by Taj Edwards. Hugh Hodgetts was having a great run. Nico Donovan, Lenny Duggan. I mean, yeah, they're all right up to 7th there. Lockie Duggan, or probably even 8th. They would have been the top clubmen for sure. And
Wow.
probably even B group and the back tail of A group.
Yep.
So, yeah, it shows you how quick these bikes are. And, yeah, you can say, the 250s are lighter and all that sort of stuff. But
Still got to ride them.
still got to ride them. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive there. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling around a bit. I was just making sure. I thought there was more than 11 of them in there.
I'm surprised
Just
there
on.
is only was only 11 of them.
But yeah, hats off to them, and their racing was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
We can go to a quick. I'm skipping around a bit.
Nothing unusual.
Nothing unusual. So race 1, Nico Donovan scored the win in that one. Jed 5 chopping at his heels. Hugh Hope Hutchinson 3rd, Taj Edward 4th, Max Carter 5th. And I've got to say, shout out to the Carters there. Pit was looking very professional and awesome, like purple and black graphics and their race wear and their levers,
Yeah.
purple and black. They looked stunning actually. Lenny Duggan, Davies Motorcycles, putting in a great effort there in 6th. Johnny Cooper he's really jumping up too and putting in the hard yards and coming along on his KDM there. Rike, Lockie Duggan, Riley Fennick, and Jared Banks. So, yeah, it was definitely only 11. And, yeah, Riley Fennick talking to his dad, Dan, and he was sort of beating himself up. But, I mean, he had never raced the AFTN. And, yeah, he was doing really well. He's, you got to remember when you enter into these races that you are actually going against the fastest riders in Australia, and it's no joke. Right. It's not. There's a little bit of a mixed bag, but even at the back of the field, there's still going to be some of the quickest club races in the country as well. So yeah, you got to remember that everyone's there with the highest racing intentions. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Putting their best effort forward, and have been training. A lot of these kids train a lot, like especially the ones up at the pointy end. Junior 85s, I didn't get to watch a lot of that racing because I was getting ready for my races. I believe it was competitive. I think there was a couple get off, but their qualifying times, I did watch a bit of their qualifying, 18.94s. So they would be, well, they would be up in the Pro B as well. So, which is quite embarrassing. They'd be kicking my ass on an 85.
Me and you.
And on 85cc. So, Bo Baker, fastest time there with an 18.941, followed by Flynn Beer, Crew Tulloch, George Holmquist. And sorry, George, I didn't get to come and see you and Dad. Your dad gave me a wave at one stage, and I'm going, I've got to go and find them. And yeah, it just didn't happen. So apologies, guys. Would have been good to come and have a chat with you. I'll try again at Griffith. Jai Fennick there in fifth, Brody Ford. Met Ben, his old man, who I believe you met up at, where was it that you were talking to them? He told me about that. It might have been Griffith, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy Heat New there in seventh, Roy Duggan, Jake Stanley, Chad Armstrong, Benji Lowe, Zach Salmon, Cooper Gunny, Angus Pazin, and Sebastian Hagen. So there's actually a couple new names in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Angus or Sebastian.
No, there's quite a couple there that I'm not familiar
with. Armstrong, I'm not sure.
I think that's Tommy Armstrong's young fella.
Must be, yeah.
Yeah,
so that's cool, and they've all got pretty good times. Like no one really slacking off there. So
no, definitely not.
And you can see, it's quite fair. Well, they're a little bit spread out compared to some of the senior classes in the times, but there's still those groups that are very tight, like from second to eighth. It's very tight.
Yeah.
So, but as we see in qualifying, it's just times. The hard thing about qualifying there was 18 bikes on I'm not sure actually the exact track length of the speedway track. It probably did say in the subs or something. I think it's less than 400 meters.
It was 350, wasn't it?
It might be. It's a nice shape. The track's a nice shape, and to me it feels like plenty of room, like width-wise, etc. But when you've got 18 bikes on there, it's really hard to have any free track in front of you.
Yeah.
to get a good time down. Yeah, I made a mistake in my first qualifying session, and I thought, I'll let everyone go and create a bit of space. And even if I'm just in front of the person that went out first, that'll be fine. And anyway, so I did that, but it turned out I was quite a bit faster than the guys in front of me, and I caught them real quick, like not even half a lap sort of thing. And then I was stuck in traffic. Not so much stuck in traffic. I got around them, but you did have to change the line. Like I had a bit of a strategy. I was just going to try and hug the inside and make the track as short as possible, but the inside was taken. So,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You had to change your lines, but it was still good. I ended up trying a bit of both strategies, outside and inside. So, but yeah, it did make it interesting. I don't know how I know Brendan and Dan said they thought the same, that it was really hard to get some clear room to get a good time. And so I imagine most people would have thought that. So, what have we talked about? Junior 85s, Junior Lights, Pro Twins, 450. We can have a look at the combined. Go down here to the second one. I think I'm doing it right. Yeah, so Tom Armstrong with an 18.77.
He wasn't that much quicker than Nico's fastest time.
That's right. That's what I mean. And the junior 250s are up there. Yeah, they would have been in the A group for sure. Yeah,
That's insane.
uh,
It looks so good for the
um,
juniors that are coming through.
yeah, isn't it? Back in 18th was Christian O'Donnell with an 18.698. So I think actually most of that junior field would have been an A group.
Yeah, you know what? Pretty much.
Let's do a quick. Let's do it. Not trying to, not trying to shame.
No, all the
Let's
boys
do
are
it.
good.
Okay, so keep 18.698 in your mind. That's 18th spot.
Yeah.
Keep that in. So we go back to junior lights. Where am I? There, junior lights qualifying 2 combined. Click on that. 18.6 was 6th place, Max Carter.
Yeah.
So the top 6 250 lights would have been an A group.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive, isn't it? It's very impressive.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. So there you go. Watch out for when they start stepping up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be good. I actually quite like the start of every season when you see people like Cooper Archibald come out of juniors and the seniors and start to bang bars with the guys at the front, and then you see people like Jet, Nico, you know what I mean? Lenny and Lockie, all that coming through too. You can only imagine what young blood in a field of like very talented Pro 450 riders when they come into that, they're definitely going to make a mark.
That's right. So you said Cooper. Did we have Cooper? Oh, yeah, Cooper was 6.
Yeah.
So is this his second year or first year? Second now, isn't it?
No, this is his first year. He won last year and won the year before, and I'm pretty sure he just moved up.
Yeah, cool. So from 18th back to 33rd, from 19th back, which would be B group, was Cullen Butcher on the 222, and he kept his place basically the whole night. He was battling with Brendan, Dan. There were some good battles in that B group for the first spot, which is actually the 19th spot, just to confuse everyone.
Yeah.
In the series. But yeah, no, it was really good to see that those battles happening there. I was obviously watching excitedly because Dan and Brendan were both riding really well. Yeah, doing what I know they can do. So that was awesome. Yeah, just to clear up any confusion, they are flying the KLAVR banner, which I really appreciate, but we're actually not giving them any financial support this year. We're not doing a team this year. So, but I do really appreciate that they've still got the KLAVR graphic on their bike and that they're hanging out with me and we're all, we'll have that team environment, which is really nice. But yeah, if you wonder why like they're not plugging KLAVR so hard and stuff, that's why. They're
Cut
not
off
under
the payroll.
yeah, well, they're not under a contract. Last year we had a contract. Some people might not understand or know the behind the scenes stuff. We had a rider's contract and they got certain benefits. But yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't honour that this year. Anyway, yeah, there were some great battles in there. Few new guys. Ryan Yu was doing double duties. He did a great job. When we go and have a look at the racing, Hudson Collins, I believe that's his first AFT in event. He's an Albury rider. He hasn't spent a lot of time on 19s either, so he went pretty well. So what happened is Pro 450 had lower numbers than Clubman. So Clubman had like 37 entries. Pro 450 had 29. So when late entries closed. So they let a few people step up from Clubman, which I managed to give Gary a bit of shit about because that means that you didn't have to qualify. Which, look, I'm glad he did. And they all got a ride and they did pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they still did fine. So I'm not sure if Matilda Heaton News stepped up or not. I'm pretty sure Laurie Cow
Yeah,
did.
she's there in 29th.
Yeah, but I don't know if she entered Clubman or Pro 450. I can't
Oh,
remember.
right, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Think Hudson Collins might have stepped up. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing him in the Clubman class. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, Hudson. I know Gary did. I know Kelsey did. Katana would have already been entered in the 450.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, it was really good. Unfortunately, there was Josh Unicombe, I think, on the 823 when it ran into somebody, spec wheel went down, caused a bit of kerfuffle, and unfortunately, that's when Kelsey had her crash and hit the fence, and she's done
Oh,
some
right.
knee damage and leg damage. So yeah, hope you heal up quick, kid.
Yeah, I spoke to her on the Saturday night and Sunday, and yeah, she's definitely heartbroken.
Yeah, it wasn't good to see. She hasn't been having a lot of luck in the AFTN, unfortunately, and I hope it doesn't stop her from competing in it. But I wouldn't blame her if it did either. So
Nah, she's a tough kid. She'll bounce back.
yeah, so we'll have a look at some of the races. We'll go to Pro Twins. So yeah, Ashley Wildsmith taking out the first race, followed by Christian, Shane Richardson third. Well done, Shane, because he hadn't
Yeah.
been on the bike for a long time. He was telling me, and you could see he was getting pretty tired of running two classes by the end of the night. And he said, I said to him in the car park, yeah, I was hoping you were going to come up to me and say that you were going to retire so I could jump in, but and he said, oh, you should have come and told me I would have, but there's no way I'd ask someone to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Ryan New there in fourth, Keely Pritchett in fifth, and Peter Smith in sixth.
Where's the other twin? I thought there was seven in
There
qualifying.
was seven, was that? That would have been the little one. Yeah, it's
Oh,
the
Be
little
is
one.
that Bede Hunt? Yeah. Oh, yeah, bike troubles or
Oh,
something, did he?
I don't know. His name's not there at all, so he
Yeah.
obviously didn't.
No, he
Yeah.
might have withdrawn or just yeah.
I don't actually know
Yeah.
what happened there.
That's unfortunate.
It is, yeah. Race one, doing this all
Junior
backwards.
lights. Yeah.
Junior lights. I think Nico took out first race. Jed five, Hugh Hope Hodgetson third, Taj, Max, Lenny, Duggan, Johnny Cooper, Roger Harler, Lockie Duggan, and Riley Finnegan 10th. So that was your top 10. There was only
Jared
11.
Jared Banks, I believe he's the son of Corey Banks. I'm sure. And
Yeah, righto.
yeah, it's good to see the generations from dirt track still following through.
So race one, junior 85s. Top step, race one was Bo Baker, followed by Jive French, George Holmquist, Crew Tullett, Brody Ford, Lucy Heaton New, Flynn Beard, Jake Straney? Is that how you say that? Straney?
Straney,
Sorry, mate.
yeah.
Chad Armstrong and Benji Lowe. Where are you? Clubman race one. Wesley Barnes was on fire all weekend. Sam Hollins was also. I think they were having some pretty good battles.
I don't think you
Luke,
think you'd be qualifying for Clubman, but that doesn't matter. But yeah,
sorry,
I don't think you did qualifying for Clubman.
Sam Hollins.
No, I don't think you did qualifying for Clubman, like go into it.
Oh, didn't I?
No, but that's all right because I thought TD qualified fastest.
Sure, I'll go back to that. Right. Sorry about that, guys. This is just so you understand, we're doing a morning pod, and we all know what the last morning pod was like. So qualifying two combined, yeah. Yeah, right. Sorry if I didn't do that before.
Yeah.
Because I'm going all over the show, that I'm upsetting myself. So Clubman qualifying combined, Tyler Davies, you're right, I didn't, because I would have mentioned Tyler Davies, who was winning B group up at Maryborough in
Yeah.
Queensland in the first rounds, because there was no Clubman up there. Yep. So Tyler qualified first. Looking at the times there, 18.7s, he would have been, I think he would have he might have just slipped into A group. No, I think he would have been in B group still. Sam Holland second, Reese Irvin third, Luke Baxke, I'm not sure how you say that. Sorry, Luke. I did talk to you a couple of times, nice bloke. Wesley Barnes there in fifth, Cooper Carney. Now, Cooper Carney, number 91, and it's sitting under the Davies tent. I had a
Yep.
chat to him, see how you go, and he said, "Good." I stepped up to the seniors. I'm thinking he must be talking about junior light, anyway, ended up racing him on Sunday. I'm going, "Oh no, he really did step up to seniors, mate. You've got a baby face.
Yep.
Cherish that. Yeah, don't take it as a criticism, but I thought you were about 12. Um,
Yeah.
he's a real baby face. He's a bit shorter too, but what a rider. Yeah, came out swinging for his first senior competition. Yeah, great job, Cooper. It's looking real good, especially qualifying six on the night. James Glenn
Yeah,
in
I
seventh.
know Cooper.
I thought you might.
Cooper's Matt's new apprentice, and he's actually a Wall Smith. I'm pretty sure it's actually Wall Smith's nephew.
Oh, righto.
Cooper
Yeah,
is, yeah.
righto.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that
shout out,
makes a bit
shout
of
out to
sense.
Coop. He's a little rat bag, but he's a good kid.
Yeah, I think I get that feeling. Some of the
Yeah.
moves he was pulling were a bit rat baggish.
But
Apparently, I pulled.
you're not wrong. He does look like he's 8, but he acts like he's 18.
Apparently, I pulled a few rat bag moves too, but I deny it all.
That's right.
And eighth, Ezra Simpson. Yeah, good work, Ezra. Goes Aubrey Club, Harley Club, etc. Ninth, Alex Glennon. 10th, Neil Girdler. Actually, if you look at some of last year's place getters and where they're sitting here, it shows you the quality of the field. 11th, Timothy Holdup. Had a lot of good chats with Tim. Alexander Griffin in 12th, Peter Smith in 13th, Florence Fairley 14th, Joel Muddle 15th, Jason Griffin 16th, Mitch Wolf 17th, Shane Richards 18th. So that's your top 18. So they're the guys that officially got to race, but there was a crash in qualifying. I can't remember if it was one or two. Unfortunately, one of them I did hear has got a bit of a bad back injury, so I hope you heal up, mate. Yeah, which actually dropped 2 places for myself and Reese. So that meant Reese got to go racing, and I got to be in 19th and stay on my levers all night, hoping I'd get to go racing. But anyway, I didn't, and I enjoyed what I watched. Yeah, behind me, oh yeah, so where did I go? Andy Fisher in 19th, Reese Sandow in 21st was myself, 22nd, Luke Wildsmith, 23rd, Brock Grow,
Right, go,
Gale,
yeah.
yeah. 24th, Michael Anderson, 25th, Jack Gunny, 26th, Riley Chaplin, and 27th, Riley Gilbert. So
There's
that's
a lot of names there that I don't think I've heard or seen before,
there's quite a few new
which
ones.
is awesome.
So Riley Gilbert's first crack at it. Riley Chaplin, I'm not sure if, yeah, I think it's his first crack at Clubman. Jack, I know, definitely his first crack at AFT and Clubman. Michael Anderson also, he came down with the Carters. Was Brock, I'm not sure about. Luke, I think might be his first year at
Yeah,
it
pretty
too.
sure it is. Yeah, he's Ashley's
Uh,
brother, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, obviously my
Wow.
first time as well.
Yeah.
Wow, on a single.
Like
Andy Fisher,
if you
not
got
sure
even if you
about.
got further, I'm pretty sure like Sam Holland's,
Yeah,
Maxie and Wes Barnes, I'm pretty sure that's all their first go as well. I think they've
yeah, it was all their first go. Mitch
I
Wolf's
heard
first
Sam's
go.
hasn't ridden or raced or something in 12 years.
Lawrence
One. Yeah.
returned. Peter's returned. Peter had a go. I can't. Might have been the first year. Neil's a
Yep.
return. So yeah, Mitch Wolf was his first go.
Yeah.
You were talking at the same time. I just want to make that clear. Ezra Simpson, I'm pretty sure it's his first go. Cooper, obviously, first
Yeah.
go. Wes, yes.
And
Luke,
even Tyler.
Luke, I'm pretty sure. Reese Irvin doesn't ring a bell either.
Mm.
Sam Hollins and Tyler Davies, they're all first timers as well. Wow, Tyler obviously did race the Pro 450 up at Maryborough.
Mm. Yeah, but in this championship, yeah.
So right, so Clubman race 1. Can I go back to that now?
Sure.
Thanks. Yeah, so Clubman race 1. Wesley Barnes takes it out, and this is the thing about qualifying. You might qualify at the back of the field, but if you're a good starter, you can actually, as I'll go into about the TT, you actually can make some good positions up. So,
Mm.
and yes, I only missed out by one spot. I reckon I actually I did, excuse the French, I fucked up. I was a bit lazy. I had a 47 on the back, and I should have had a 50 or 49 or a 50 on, and I knew that might undo me a little bit, but I thought I'd be able to work around it. But yeah, obviously, I was talking to actually Timothy Holdup, and he was saying that he definitely changed his gearing this time and made a big difference to other times he hasn't. So yeah, I think that could have made a difference. Coulda, shoulda, didn't. I didn't cut the mustard, so it doesn't matter. I think I won't be making that mistake again. I'm going to get a couple links and make sure, or another chain, and make sure I can run different gearing, because as you could see with the times, it's so tight. Like, it's the little things that count now. my suspension's sorted. I felt really confident. I can throw it in the corner a lot faster and harder than some of them could, and I can actually get out of a corner now. So I think it was more just about having the right gearing. Would have got me a few 100 seconds off and maybe got me across the line. Might have even got a second off for all I know. So I'm going to start back at the time because I went on a ramble. Sorry, Wesley Barnes first, Sam Holland second, Luke Baskey third, Tyler Davies fourth. So if you weren't paying attention before, like Luke didn't qualify, I think he was about fifth or sixth. So ended up in the third place. Tyler Davies, our top qualifier there in fourth place. Cooper Carney in fifth, Neil Girdler sixth, James Glennon seventh, Ezra Simpson eighth. Actually is where he qualified, so he sort of held same place. Alex Cleaner ninth and Timothy Hold up 10th. Yeah, so Reece Sandow there started on the back line and he made up 2 spots. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, So he beat Shane Richards, who qualified faster than him. I'm pretty sure Pete Smith did as well. Well, yeah, of course Pete did. So just goes to show, it's funny how it works. We see it in AFT as well. So Pro 450B, I did Pro 450A, didn't I, before? Daniel Wicks took it out.
Yeah.
So Pro 450B. Oh, Christian O'Donnell on the Triumph. I forget that he's on a Triumph. I keep thinking it's a Husky because of the white plastic.
It's a 250. Well, it says there.
And it's a two. Correct? Yeah, I think he'd get disqualified if he had 250 down there and went out on the 450. So Christian in first place, Lachlan Moody second place, Cullen Butcher third, Daniel Leonetti fourth, Brendan McCow fifth, Glenn Smith sixth, Josh Unicombe seventh, Riley Plum eighth, Ryan New ninth, Liam Grimshaw 10th.
Yeah, nice.
So you see there the times are quite tight, like it's pretty close racing.
Yeah.
First place, fastest lap, and they're only the fastest laps too. So obviously these fluctuate. 18.410 and back to 10.
Actually, I don't think he did Pro 450.
19.
I think he did qualifying for it, not the race.
Okay, we'll go back to it. 19.23 and back in 10th. So
don't want anyone to miss out.
All right, we'll go to sorry, I'm all over the show, guys.
Yeah, this is what happens when Darcy runs the screen sharing.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I like you doing
it. Because you can yell at me.
Yeah. I even took my pill this morning. I shouldn't be this all over the show. It's an old person's pill, if anyone's wondering. Nothing Nothing's menacing. I'm coming out with some weird words this morning. So top stick, Daniel Wicks, followed by Tom Armstrong, Dale Borlash, Cameron Duncan, Cooper Archibald, Billy Ryan. Billy Ryan had an awesome weekend. We'll get into that. Jet Carter, 7th, Thomas Herrick, 8th, Rowan Jacobs, 9th, and Ben Grabman in 10th. I struggled to differentiate between Dale Borlash and Cameron Duncan. I don't know why. I guess just because their bikes are blue and they're both wickedly fast and similar build. I think Dale's a bit taller, actually, isn't he? No, they might be the same.
Yeah, about the same.
But anyway, 1st to 10th, 18.011 to 18.437. So actually no, we did come here before because I was saying how it was a freight train.
No, I think in qualifying, but I think you mentioned it, but I don't think you come to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When I'm editing and I realise I'm right, I'm going to send you dirty text.
Mate, send me two of them because the first one won't
not
be
that,
guaranteed.
Not that sort of dirty.
Cut it out.
Yeah, so as you can see, very close, tight racing. I love underlights. One of the racers did mention to me he liked day racing. I think he's mad. And I'm going to call you out, Tom Armstrong. I love night racing. I think that's great. He said it's a long day. Yeah, I guess it feels like a long day, but it's the same amount of hours whether you start at 9 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I guess if I don't know, I'm pretty sure they were at an Airbnb or something. They were staying somewhere local. If you got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and travelled or something like that, yes, it would be a very long day. So I'll go to the final race of the day. Let's have a look how it ended up. I think that's without drawing this out way too long. And I'm going to do it. Which way should I do it? From the 85, so the juniors up through to the seniors. Do it that way, finishing with 450s.
Oh, mate, you're running this one, yeah.
Well,
I'm doing what you do to me. Throw it back at me.
Yeah. I'm just struggling to bloody see them, and I've got my reading glasses on.
Oh, here we go. Now the blind excuse comes out.
Yeah. I'm just actually trying to scare all the competitors I'll be racing against at Griffith.
Oh, they'll just
Um,
make sure they swap your glasses and then you're buggered.
I don't wear glasses when I'm racing.
Oh, well, then I'd be scared for the riders and I wouldn't be able to see them.
So sorry, I have to go to race 3 for twins because they only had 3 rounds. I'm sorry, guys. I wish you had 4. I think that then Shane would have definitely been rooted and might have pulled out and let me race. Uh, so Ashley again with the win in race 3 for the twins in their final round. Christian, the current number 1. I should have mentioned that before too. Sitting there in second. Christian did tell me too that he hadn't ridden it since last year. Ryan New there in third. So they were your top 3 as well. Ashley, Christian, and Ryan. So congratulations. Followed by Keely Pritchett, Peter Smith, and Shane Richards. So yeah, we definitely did lose one. So race 4, starting with 85. So that's why I was getting all confused. The twins thing they were missing. So Bo Baker on the top step, Jai French in the second step, George Holmquist third, Flynn Beard fourth, Lucy Heaton New fifth, Brody Ford fifth,
Six.
Crude, sorry, fifth, Brody Ford
Six.
sixth. Fucking hell. True Doug seventh, Roy Duggan eighth, Jake Stanley ninth, Zach Salmon 10th. So, yeah, well done to all those youngsters. And I think they were smiling. I can't remember. I think they were having a great time. I know I was smiling. It was good.
It's all right, as long as you had fun.
Yeah, that's right. Who cares about anyone else? Jed 5, first step of junior lights. I'm pretty sure these two were battling pretty hard all night. Nico Donovan there in second, Hugh Hope Hodgetts in third or 3, the whole top field. I mean, look at the times, it's nothing in it. Taj Eachwood fourth, Matt Carter fifth, Lenny Duggan sixth, Is it Riker or Riker? Right?
Right caller
How do you get Riker? Anyway,
in seventh.
Paula, please come and tell me, right? Yeah, in seventh, Lucky Duggan in eighth, Johnny Cooper in ninth, and Jared Banks in 10th. So, well, the time spread out a little bit there.
And I believe that Nico won the first 2 races and Jet won the next 2. So it wasn't
Yeah,
all one-way traffic either. So
yeah. And oh, sorry, that was over 8 laps as well, the last race. So it goes back down.
mm.
You have a longer race in the middle. So Clubman next, last race of the night for Clubman. Sam Holland took the top step. Tyler Davies second, so it's changed up a bit. Wes Barnes third. And I do remember watching that one. They were switching around quite a bit, having a pretty good battle up the front there. Luke Bafaksky, please tell me, Luke, how to pronounce his surname for next time. Ezra Simpson in fifth. Cooper Carney sixth. Reese Evans seventh. James Clinton eighth, Neil Girdler ninth, Alexander Giffen 10th. So, yeah, well done to all the clubmen got out there making it through. Pro 450B, Helen Butcher in first, Brendan McCow at second, Daniel Leonetti third, Glenn Smith fourth, Riley Plum fifth, Max Grimshaw sixth, Ryan Hughes seventh, Laurie Gower eighth, Hudson Collin ninth, rounded out by Gary Routman into.
Gary,
So look at that, Gary in 10th place.
go Gary, go! No, I was super proud of him. I sent him a bit of a message to say, mate, I'm proud of you for jumping up and giving it a go. I know he jumped up, so he can definitely get a ride, but still, yeah, I was
Yeah.
proud of him.
Anyway, you know, like I actually I was Garrett, we should have given him a ring. Can't remember. I think he did get lapped, but it was probably in the 15 lapper.
Mm.
I don't think he did in the 8 lappers. So yeah, and that's good effort, And obviously he wasn't last either. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, that's generally my goal. Unless you fall off, then you can sort of take it on the chin. So yeah, A group taking the top step in the last one, and holy shit, some of the, I don't think it was this race, but some of the other races, like I said, I just about chewed my fingernails right off. Like some hairy moments, like they just weren't giving each other room, and they were taking any little and I mean we're talking millimeters, fractions of millimeters, like it was that fucking close. It was insane. Yeah, it's some insane racing. Yeah, I don't know how they fit their balls in their pants. Daniel Wicks in first place. Cameron Dunker second place. Thomas Eric in third. Thomas had some amazing comebacks actually. Cooper Archibald in fourth. Ron Jacobson fifth, Dale Borlas sixth, Jet Carter in seventh, Billy Ryan in eighth, Tom Armstrong in ninth, and Brandon Burns in 10th. I'm pretty sure he went to the penalty line in that one, so
Yeah.
started from the back row. Can't remember what put him on the penalty line, whether it was a jump start or something else. There was a few controversial calls. I don't know all the ins and outs. The only one that I was 100% certain of that ended up being the right call, but they were trying to put him on the penalty line, is Tom got knocked off at the start. So just after the lights went out, the outside riders, without mentioning any names, got pretty loose and wild and all started banging into each other and all went left, which ended up hitting. It might have been Cooper Archibald, actually. He would have been on the first roll. Yeah, it might have been. So sorry if I've got that wrong, but into Thomas, and Tom went down, and they tried to put Tom on the penalty line. And yeah, he argued the fact. It got a little bit heated. Then they spoke to the rider next to him, whom I'm assuming was Cooper. I could be wrong. Sorry, Coops,
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. And yeah, I could see him doing hand movements, and from his hand movements, I'm going here. He's telling them that everyone push him left hard into Tom. So anyway, Tom got to keep his row on the front spot, which I don't know if it would have been
Keep his row on
appreciated.
the front spot. Keep his spot on the front row.
That's the one. I don't know if it would have been appreciated, but I would have been going and saying to Clark, of course, as well. No, it wasn't his fault. He
I think
definitely got
first turn incidents
knocked
like
off.
that, as long as it's not blatant.
It wasn't even first turn. They didn't even get to the first turn.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like
Mm.
things like that as well. I think if it's not a blatant or if it's yeah, intentional, I think they should just throw everyone back on the start line again. Let them
Yeah.
have it.
Well, yeah. I think part of the problem on that call was the officials were actually sort of looking at each other or the other way. As from where I was standing, and yeah, where I was standing, I saw the incident 100%. Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, those guys just got messy. If you're an official, I mean, you could have been, if you could have been brave, you probably could have put I think it was not the very far outside start position, but the other two were definitely loose as a goose. They probably could have gone to the back line for that,
Yeah.
because they did cause the incident. So
Yeah.
that's in
Okay.
my eyes, anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so there was a few calls that not everyone agreed. But yeah, so that rounds out. Gee, that was long-winded. Sorry. I'll see if I can edit that, make it a bit tighter. But under lights, track held up beautifully. No big holes or anything like that. It stayed pretty smooth. I would dare say I would call that speedway prepped. There wasn't heaps of surface, but it wasn't too hard either. I wasn't racing though on the night, so maybe it did change up a little bit during the night, but during qualifying, from spectating, the track looked good all night. So,
Mm.
but as we all know, watching and actually being out, there's two totally different things. Yeah, fantastic. So that was all night one on the short track. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I think so. Most of the stuff I'm seeing on internet, on the socials, yeah, it looks like everyone's had a ripper. I haven't actually done a recap thing for my post or recap post or whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to do, Tom, just a real quick pause. All right, sorry about that.
You're all right, mate. You're all right.
All right, you guys don't know it, but I just had to have a quick little break. Put my heater on because it's freezing my ass off here in Ballarat. That's all the nice weather's gone again. We're back to some shitty weather. So on to day two, Sunday, the 24th of August, Albury Wodonga, same circuit, different track. So this one would be up around the 600 meters, something like that, I'm imagining. Does it say on here? No, it doesn't. It actually might at the top of the timing, does it? CT track, pretty technical track. I didn't get to do the practice day, so I was going in cold turkey, like quite a few of the other riders as I was talking to them, it is what it is. You go in, you just got to use your racecraft. I was actually really proud of myself. I'm going to pump the tyres up a bit. I thought my racecraft was actually really good on Sunday. I was stoked with the way I rode, the way the bike's handling. thanks to Darren Lee at Trac. I know some guys have used him and didn't quite like what he did, but for me, it worked a treat compared to how my bike used to feel a lot better, and I can only see things improving now. Like I said to Tom yesterday when I spoke to him on the phone, the trophies are going to come back. So I haven't had a trophy for a while. I think the last one I might have won. Oh no, I won one at Albury, and that was on shit suspension compared to what I'm on now. So time before that might have been the Akubra Classic, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited now. Actually, I think that things are going to get a lot faster for myself, which is great. We'll go through the qualifying properly this time, and I'll try to stay on track a little bit. As I said, as TT was technical, turn one. So I'll explain from the lights where you start on your grids. You've got quite a hefty straight into turn one. There were quite a few get-offs there in the early start of the day as people underestimated speed, corner speed, and went out and hit the fence. I was actually standing next to Dave Smith, and he was saying it's going to be carnage. And yeah, a few people underestimated it, but luckily it wasn't too bad. The worst place for get-offs was obviously in the TT section, and it's very, very tight. I don't know, you could actually go into it faster than you would think you could, but that caused trouble when people would put their brakes on or wash their front wheel out, and you've got a lot of rolling speed. So I'll get into it in a minute of how chaotic it actually was for myself.
I heard it was absolute carnage all over the shop.
But yeah, only in that section. Later on in the day, the track started. I wouldn't say it was getting away from them a little bit, but they managed to change. They changed the watering sequence a bit, and it came back quite good. But there was one race we went out, and just in front of the jump was like an ice skating rink. So I can only speak for the sessions I went out, and I'm not sure about 450 and that. Dan said the same.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know how many times it was like that for them. It was only like that once for us. So, sorry, I'm struggling to concentrate because it's bloody cold. Once my heaters warms up a bit, I might sound like a normal person again. So we'll start qualifying. I'm going to just do the combines. So
Yep.
that should be group 1 and 2. I will go right. Should I do each qualifying or just the second one to speed it up?
Just go to the combined ones, just so it's overall, yeah.
Okay, qualifying to junior 85s. I'm on the right line there. Yep, combined. So this is after both sessions, both qualifying sessions. So we're going to speed it up a bit because I'm probably boring you otherwise. You can see here, obviously, the length of the track. So does it actually say the length of the track on here? No, it doesn't. Isn't that a pain?
Yeah,
Anyway,
I think
so
my
you can
lap
see,
shows that. I don't think compute time does.
yeah, it's I think you're right on that. So you can see, yeah, we're in the 33s today. So
Hmm.
yeah, quite a bit more technical, a lot longer. Personally, I would like the jump to be a little bit further forward. Is it? Yeah, further. So when you come out of the corner, you get a bit more of a run up to it.
Yeah.
But it did make it fun, and it was. I had some crazy moments in there. But anyway, we're not talking about me. We're talking about the 85s. Bo Baker, fastest qualified, followed by George Holmquist. So really changed up here. Flynn Beard, Jai Finch, Lucy Heaton, New, Brody Ford, Jake Stanley, Zach
Straney.
Salmon, Straney, sorry, mate. Zach Salmon, Roy Duggan, Keefe Gunny, Angus Passon, Crew Tuck, Ben Lowe, Chad Armstrong, and Sebastian Hagen. That's how they qualified. Junior 85s, junior lights, blah, blah, blah. Combined qualifying. Yeah, so this should be overall after both sessions. Jed 5, Jed's home track, but he's still got to deal with it like everyone else. Hugh Ho Hodgett second, Lenny Duggan third, Taj Edwards, Nico Donovan, Max Carter, Lockie Duggan, Wright Kohler, Johnny Cooper, Jared Banks, and Riley Phoenix. So all 11 stayed in the competition. We did, obviously, after one day of racing, as you'd expect. You do lose some riders in some classes due
Hmm.
to injury, mechanical, etc. So that was junior lights. So no twins on day 2. So Clubman combined, Sam Hollins taking out the top step, Wesley Barnes, Reece Irvin. So top 4, similar to the night before, Tyler Davies, Alex Glennon, Neil Girdler jumped a couple spots, Ezra Simpson, Cooper Garney down there in 8th, Alex Griffin, Mitch Wolfe, James Glennon, Jason Griffin, Timothy Holdup, Reece Sandow, Luke Basaski, Lawrence Fairley, myself, Darcy KLAVR, and Pete Smith rounding out the top 18. So we all went through to racing.
You
Shane
made this
Richard,
one.
I made this one. Shane Richards, Brock Luke Wasmith, Michael Anderson, and Riley Chaplin. Actually, I think so. Lawrence pulled out. I'm not sure who came in. Maybe Michael Anderson. We'll see on race 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was concentrating pretty hard on myself. So, Pro 450. So, I'm just double checking that I'm clicking on the right thing so we don't get halfway through it and then go, oh, whoopsie. So, top step, Tom Armstrong, Cameron Dunker, Thomas Herrick, Daniel Wicks, Billy Ryan, Dale Borlas, Rowan Jacobs, Jet Carter, Ben Grabham, Cooper Archibald, Brandon Burns, Callum Butcher, James Sordy, Daniel Leonetti. Well done, Dan. First time into A group. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
fantastic. In fact, yeah, he was stoked. And he's riding real well. Lachlan Moody, Jack Griffin, Corey Banks, and in 18th, rounding out the A group, Michael Price. Actually, they only take 16, don't they? And then the top 2 can move up.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, you all know that, and were laughing at me saying you're an idiot before anyway. When I didn't correct that in the first day. So Harrison Griffin, 19th, Christian O'Donnell, 20th, Brendan McCow at 21st, Glenn Smith, Ryan New, Riley Plum, Hudson Collins, Max Grimshaw, Katana Robinson, Laurie Cow, Matilda Head-New, Liam Grimshaw, and Gary Routman round into that. Gary did say to me he was struggling a bit. I'm not quite sure why actually. But anyway, that's what happens. And we didn't mention Super Pole at all either. See, it goes straight into racing. I thought the Super Pole results were.
No, that doesn't actually have it there.
No, it doesn't have it there. That's why I missed
No.
it on the first day. So I would have to go on social media because I don't actually know. On the short track, I didn't actually watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, rightio. So we'll go. That was your qualifying for round 2, the TT. Yeah, we'll go into 85s. Let's see who won the first race. Flynn Beard on the 43 machine, taking out for Beard Brothers Racing, taking out top step. Lucy Heaton New in the second there. George Homey Quest in third, Brody fourth, Jai fifth, French fifth, Jake Straney sixth, Zach Salmon seventh, Roy Duggan eighth, Cooper Guinea ninth, and Angus Passon 10th.
So if anyone that wanted to know, round 3 Super Pole winner was Dale Borlace, and round 4 Super Pole winner was Cameron Dunker.
Thanks, mate. So Junior Light race 1, Jed Fife, top step, Nico Donovan second, Hugh Hope Hodgetts third, Taj Edwards fourth, Lenny Duggan fifth, Max Carter sixth, Reich Holler seventh, Lockie Duggan eighth, Johnny Cooper ninth, and Riley Finch 10th. I've got to say, Hugh Hope Hodgetts is looking really consistent, isn't he?
Yeah.
Great effort.
He seems to be going everywhere as well, and it's definitely paying off.
Yeah. So now we come to the Clubman race 1. So Sam Hollins takes that one out, followed by Reece Irvin, Wesley Barnes, Ezra Simpson, Neil Girdler, Alexander Giffen, Cooper Carney, Alex Glennon, Luke Babaksky, Mitch Wolfe in 10th position.
Oh.
That first race, so I started on the back row 4, by the TT section, or just at the TT section. I was to about 7th or 8th, and then all hell broke loose. So I was right on the ass of Mitch Wolfe, who finished 10th. I was right on his ass, and someone tucked the front in front of him. He jammed the brakes on, and I remember it very clearly. I was looking at a hole to the left that I was going to have a crack at going through. And then this happened. And so I had to do a quick right. I think I might have even nudged the back of his tyre. ended up quite wide towards the grass, going, oh, fuck, here we go. And ended up on the grass. There's a drainage ditch, did a bit of a jump off that, and next minute I'm slamming right back next to Mitch as we're coming into the right-hander, which is bloody, yeah, everyone really hugs the cane there to get it square, be able to square off with a jump. So I got round there, managed to stay up. It was pretty argy-bargy. There was people bouncing off each other everywhere. Yeah, trying to get that corner, that was the tricky corner. Going into the TT section, I had nailed, but trying to come out onto the jump, I just couldn't quite get consistency. As we're young, watching in a later race, watching Cooper Carney, he had that pretty nailed. He was doing a real nice job getting onto that jump. But unfortunately, I held it with them for a lap, and then I must have done it, I don't know, a dodgy gear change or something, and didn't pull the clutch in, and it stalled and spat me off. Yeah, I went to last. I ended up having to let them all go through because I couldn't get it started. And by the time I got it started, they were coming back into the section, so I just let them all go through. So it was a lap down. But, it proved to myself that I could go from last position to mid pack, if not even further. So that was a great race. And I just came off full of adrenaline because it was so fun. Like it was, yeah, so much fun. Just, I don't believe anyone got hurt and there was no maliciousness, but, there's 18 of you going through a tight little section trying to make any position you can. And yeah, it was good racing. Race 4, Junior 85. So Bo Baker, Lucy Heaton Ewan second, made a couple spots there. George Homequest, Flynn Beard, Brody fourth, Jai French, Jake Straney, Benji Lau,
Right.
Cooper Gunny, and Chad Armstrong there in 10th. Sorry, what was that?
I just said, oh, you got his name right.
Oh, thank you.
Benji
Yes, it's
Lowe.
only taken how many attempts?
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, guys. Last race of the day there. Junior Light, race 4. Jed, clean sweep there. Nico Donovan in second. Hugh Hope Hodges third. Taj Edgeworth. So it doesn't look like it mixed up too much. Lenny Duggan, Lockie Duggan, Max Carter, Johnny Cooper, Reich Hauler, Jared Banks got one over Riley Fennick there at the end. Riley beating him in the last one. I'm not sure about race 3, but definitely race 1. So it comes back around to Clubman. This one was a bit better of a start for myself. We did have a couple drop out for some reason. So Sam Holland's taking this one out. Wesley Barnes second, Reese Irvin third, Ezra Simpson fourth, Neil Girdler fifth, Tyler Davies sixth, Reese Sandow seventh, Jason Giffen eighth, Alex Glennon ninth, Cooper Carney 10th, Darcy KLAVR 11th for myself. Oh, well, I'm not meant to go to 11th.
Oh, look at him. He's going to 11 just because his name's on
no.
there. Oh, here we go.
I was excited.
I was excited.
I actually thought I got 10th, but anyway, yeah. So that was a good race, that one. Pretty clean. I think I actually did get around Cooper and then he got around me again at the start. So that was from back row to the start again. But that actually wasn't my best start. My best start was in the second race, and I went from the back line and came around spectator corner in fourth. I think I might have done a little bit of a sneaky inside the cone in the TT section, but I didn't get disqualified because the race got red.
Protest.
The race got red flagged anyway because someone had jumped the start. Unfortunately, on the restart, him being on the penalty line really mucked up my outside line I was using to get around the mob. So ended up getting pushed to the back on that one. But look, all in all, it was a lot of fun racing the TT track. That was really technical through there. And like I said, I think a little bit more room before the jump would have been good, but it does keep the speed down. Maybe the risk, like if it was slick like it was in one of the heats, maybe that would be more dangerous. I'm not sure. The right-hander coming out onto the jump was probably where I had the most close calls. Yeah, because people would just unexpectedly stop or really like slow down to square it off.
Yeah.
And you're coming out of the left, and I actually was carrying a bit of momentum through there. I was catching people through there quite easily. But then, and then you ride on their ass, and then they turn hard right and almost stop. And yeah, I ended up started going, cutting a bit harder to the left and going around them, but then you end out on a bit of an angle and going over the jump sideways, which wasn't very ideal either. So yeah, really tricky. I'd love to hear some of the other racers' opinions. Feel free to drop a line on our show links and stuff, and tell us what you thought of it. I thought it was really challenging, made some good racing. Unfortunately, spectators couldn't really see down there. There's no like seating around there. So, well, they can see, but from a distance, so they couldn't see like a close up sort of how difficult it was. Righty ho. So B group, Christian O'Donnell on the so race 4 B group, Christian O'Donnell on the triumph, Brendan McCowett in second, who did great all day. Ryan New there in third, Hudson Collins fourth, Max Grimshaw fifth, Riley Plum sixth, Laurie Cowes seventh. Well done, Laurie. Katana eighth, and Gary Rampman ninth. So you can see we've lost a few numbers.
By the looks of it, not having been at the event, that qualifying seemed like it'd be everything. Kept you away from the carnage and gave you clear track. It seems like it was fairly hard to pass if you line it up.
100%. I was actually surprised. Correct me if I'm wrong again. Send a link or a comment or a video or whatever you've got. I'm pretty sure I was the only one pulling that move around the outside, and it worked really well. I told Timothy, hold up, because I went around him a couple times doing it. I said, use it, go for it, use that line because he was in front of me. If you want to use it, I'll just follow you, but make sure you fucking commit, because we're coming hard.
Yeah, that's right.
If you stop, there'll be trouble. And Lawrence Ferry actually said to me, be careful, because if something goes wrong, you're going to get cleaned up. But be honest, respect everyone else's life and my own life. I'm not going to do a silly risk. I was making sure it was clear before I put the gas on. And hopefully, if something did go wrong, I had enough momentum to get past it before that actually got out to the fence there. So there was probably, I'd say, a good 2 metre, if not more, gap that I was using. And it was plenty of room to get out around everyone. This kid I hope he was crying in his helmet, because he had such a fantastic last race of the day. Billy Ryan, hats off, mate. You made it look like a clinic. It was just an amazing race by him. Sitting there in Cameron Dunker, I mean, Cameron Dunker was dominating during the day. Tom Armstrong there in third, Thomas Herrick there in fourth. All these guys, they were made to work really hard, and we know what top-notch riders they are, so you can only imagine the spectacle it was when they're having to work that hard, like Daniel Wicks sitting there in fifth. So Rowan Jacobs there in sixth, Jex Harder 7, Cooper Archibald 8th, Ben Grabban 9th, Colin Butcher 10th. And I will just say this, like, I know we're not going into lower ranks, but Daniel back there in 16th, and he was worried he was going to get lapped in the longer races, and he didn't, and hats off to him. Only just, but he didn't. And it's a big step up when you actually get into the group you've been aiming to get into. All the nerves come in, all sorts of psychological stuff.
That's an effort in itself.
Yeah, that's right. So, well done, mate. Well done to everyone that qualifies into the A group, because it's, you got to put your big boy boots on and give it a few red hot crack. So, and like I said, Billy Ryan, I'm pretty sure he's been on a 250 up until now. I'm not sure when he started using the 450. Yeah, that last race, he made it look too easy. So really, really well done. Yeah, so that pretty much rounds out day 2. Lots of exciting racing. I think the short track in the Pro 450A group was probably the highlight of the weekend for excitingness. The races that I watched, especially the last race, because Billy really had an amazing lead. There wasn't heaps of good battles going on in that last race. Some of the other races during the day, there was some good battles going on there. As I was out not long after them, I was sort of watching through my helmet. I can't remember everything. Some highlights of the weekend for me was the support I'm getting from people A lot of people came up and said about the pod, Tom, and how they were listening to the Tom Armstrong podcast, which got a very high rating. A lot of people really love that one. So we'll keep up the good work. It helps when you guys tell us and give us the feedback, makes us feel like we're actually doing something important instead of just
Definitely.
catching up and talking to each other.
Mm.
Also, another highlight for me was a young guy, Elijah. I want to give him a shout out, Elijah. I don't know if you're listening to the podcast. He didn't actually know about the podcast, so he's probably not listening. But a shout out to him. He came looking like a little lost lamb through the pits and came up with a AFTN t-shirt and asked me to sign it. And that was pretty cool. It made me feel pretty good about myself. And what was really funny, I said, "Oh, so you listen to the pod?" He said, "No, what's that?" So I told him about the pod, and I said, "Oh, so why would you like me to sign it?" And he said, "Oh, you're fast." I said, "Oh, okay, thanks, mate." So he obviously had no idea who I was. So that,
Someone's telling
but
him lies.
anyway, I said, "Oh, so do you race yourself, or?" And he's just getting into it. So I'm
Yep.
not sure if he's getting into flat track or dirt track, or what sort of riding he's getting into. But he said, "No, I'm learning," and I thought that was fantastic. That a learner's looking up to anyone that's out there racing, no matter what you. I don't know if he saw the awesome moves I was making from the back row around the outside and just thought that was fantastic or what.
Yeah.
But
We'll go with that.
yeah, I'm going with that. But I took him across to Dan Leonetti, got Dan to sign it for him as well. And the 450s were just going out. I would have taken them and got Thomas and that as well. But yeah, unfortunately, timing was wrong. But I think that's great for the sport that we've got people looking up to riders like that and coming through and getting autographs. And
Yeah.
that's a sign. Like that's a great sign that the sport's going in the right direction. And we are like I wasn't too. I don't want to sound harsh towards the AFTN crew because they do such a fantastic job, and Albury club as well that we were involved in hosting. But the crowd was down a bit. I thought that was a bit disappointing. I wonder if they were disappointed about it. I'm not sure what the reasons behind it are. I'm not sure what the marketing strategy is. I didn't go into town. I didn't get a chance to go into town, so I don't know if there was posters. Actually, that's a lie. I went to a liquor store on Friday night and bought some stout, but I didn't see any posters in that window. And guys, if you're listening, maybe if you're not doing that, old school works. Like every
Mm.
promoter and club that I've talked to that have done the old school in their town, it works. So please start doing that because you guys need the revenue and we want a bigger audience to race in front of them and show off to. So it's only good for the sport. So that was a little bit disappointing. Elijah was fantastic. That gave me hope. All the guys coming up and saying about the pod with Tom Armstrong was fantastic as well. Also had quite a few guys asking about Victorian flat track and saying that they'll travel down to support it. So I
Awesome.
mean, there was a lot of positives that came out of the weekend, and it was great to catch up with everyone, see them face to face, answer questions. I did get a question from, Shane Richards saying, oh, the podcast was fantastic, but when you can you ask some more in-depth questions? So, like when Tom Armstrong said he went through, four tyres in a meeting, why did he go through four tyres? So I didn't actually get the chance to catch up with Tom again. I did speak to him a couple of times during the weekend. The question slipped my mind the second time I saw him because we were just talking about some argy-bargy stuff. But I did talk to Wade Carter, who's Jet Carter's pit boss, and asked him the question. And basically, it's pretty much what we thought it would be is basically to have a fresh edge, like the tire's not destroyed, but at least you've got no excuses if you've got a fresh edge
Yeah.
on a granite track. Obviously, the scenario will be different at Griffith. You might want not such a fresh edge. You might not want such a shiny tire. You might want something a bit more bedded in. So
Mm.
that's cutting his answer into about a quarter of what he gave me. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. is to make sure that you've got no excuses. You've got a fresh edge. Your tyre's not the reason that you haven't made the positions that you wanted. In the Australian dirt track world, we had the 21-18, so the Michelin's totally destroyed and all the knobs are gone. It's not like that. It's just about having a fresh edge and no excuses, basically, on a granite track. So obviously on the oil tracks, it's going to be different. And it's going to be interesting, Griffith, some of the conversations I was having, not just the timing of the format and everything, but also tyre compounds. So the Dunlops that they're running, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. I can't wait to see the Clubman times against the Dunlop times, because you can guarantee most of them are going to be on Max's, so which is a Max's soft is preferred for oil. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see the comparison there. And we know we've got riders in the Clubman that are capable of Pro 450 A times. So, yeah, I think that's going to be, if they all are signed up for it, which I think they will be. So it's going to be really interesting to see all that. I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, just a big shout out again to everyone that helped out. My daughter Sky for coming up with me and helping out. Also, Adrian Leonetti for jumpstarting Tinkle, because Tinkle did a fantastic job, but her owner is irresponsible and doesn't know his equipment. And I had my camper, 4x4 camper, hooked up on the back, and I had the Anderson plug hooked in, and I didn't know, because it's actually haven't had a car before with an Anderson plug on the charged battery while you're driving, auxiliary battery in the camper, and I didn't realise it didn't have a switch, like a switch surge, oh, not surge switch, what do you call it, like a current switch to stop it draining my car battery, and it drained my car battery flat, and I went to leave on the Sunday, I went, uh-oh. So yeah, thanks Adrian for coming to my rescue and jumping Tinkle. I undid the Anderson plug and we were good by the time we had to stop for fuel. Yeah, I think that's it. Great weekend, AFTN. I hope they want to go back there. I think the track and the track crew, hats off to you guys. You did a really good job. Albury's quite tricky with warm weather. You know, the track can get away. So I think they did a fantastic job. It was a game both days. It was sort of speedway prep. On the TT track, I didn't mention at the starting grid, must have just been the Wonder Wheel was sort of, it did get a little bit heavier there, but it didn't hurt. Well, it didn't hurt my starts. I thought it was fine. And yeah, in front of the jump was a bit slippery a couple of times, but I think because of the angle of those corners, that's going to be tricky no matter what the conditions are. So, but hats off to the crew, the facilities, the track, it was all top notch, and that's what you expect of a national meeting. So that's Darcy's wrap up of round 3 and 4 of AFTM. We'll be off to round 5 at Griffith. Yeah, no idea what to expect. Hopefully some solid racing. I'm going to bring some different gearing, and hopefully I'll qualify for both lots and get up the ladder a little bit. We didn't actually do.
At the overall points.
What a wally!
Hey,
Come
mate.
on, Tom. You didn't tell me.
Hey, mate, I've got my own. I've got my own race meeting to announce. This is all you, bud.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Right. So series points. Let's get into it. Overall series points after 4 rounds of competition. Junior 85s, Bo Baker. So I'll just do top 10. Bo Baker, Jai French, Flynn Beard, Lucy Hedden, Brodie Ford, George Holmquist, Jake Straney, Roy Duggan, Bruce Tulloch, and Chad Armstrong. It's all my head.
It's all your head.
It's all my
head.
Junior lights. Jed 5. What are we looking at points? I didn't look at the points. 857. Nico Donovan 835. So still room there for Nico to take over the lead. Hugh Hope Hodgetts third. Lenny Duggan, Taj Edgewood, Max Carter, Johnny Cooper, Rika Hula, Lockie Duggan, and Kai Moran. So Kai, I don't think was there this weekend.
He's up from North Queensland.
Yeah, right. So he might not come to any of the others. We'll see. Yeah, so the battle's really for first there between Nico and Jed. I'm not sure. Hugh will have to do a pretty big push to get up into that battle, I think. But you know, anything can
It's
happen. And
still open for third.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, third's quite close too. So yeah, good work, guys. So there is a battle forming there for both first and third. Well, it will turn into second, won't it? The battle actually. Clubman series points overall. Sam Hollins, Wesley Barnes, Reece Irvin, Tyler Davies, Ezra Simpson, Neil Girdler, Cooper Garney, Luke Bakaski. I don't know. You're going to have to fix me up, Luke. I think I've said it different every time. Alex Cleanan, Alex Giffen. Quite a tight battle up there for the top three spots. That could change quite easily. And yeah, obviously myself, Michael Anderson, well, Shane Richards didn't do the second day, neither did Loris. So we only scored for one round. From 16th to 20, we all only scored for one round. Everyone else scored for two rounds. But it looks like Alexander dropped out on one of the races. So yeah, that can change quite a bit and depends who comes to Griffith. So it looks like it could still go on now. I'm not sure. I might have to go back to the other page for series points for the twins class.
Well,
It's
you've
not
already
that, yeah.
told we've only had one.
Oh, yeah, so we know who it is
That's the
anyway.
way the standings are. Yeah.
Thank you. Tom Armstrong still holding his lead, 790 by 10 points over Cameron Dunker. Daniel Wicks there in third. He's still got room to get back into it. Thomas Herrick's in fourth there. He's still got room. Yeah, it could go. Like, yeah, if anyone drops out of that top spot for a mechanical or an injury, they're in trouble.
Well, there's still
Um,
4 rounds to go, so there's still a hell of a lot of
that's
points to get.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it could change up quite easily.
Yeah.
Ryan Jacobs there fifth, Billy Ryan sixth, Ben Grabham seventh, Dale Borlas eighth, Jet Carter ninth, and Brandon Burns there in 10th. So righty ho. Now I'm going to stop gabbling on. I think I've fixed all my stuff up. I've said everything I've got to say. And now we're going to talk about where Tom was during the weekend. We're not going to worry about sidecars because they're excluded from the Flat Track podcast. So we're only going to talk about the two wheels, aren't we, Tom?
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, on the
Now tell
weekend.
us, how was it up there?
Yeah, it was the track was definitely challenging. The track had a lot of I would say a lot of inconsistencies. A lot of parts were slick, a lot of parts had a lot of drive. It was a bit bumpy, but yeah, it was a typical Canberra track. I quite enjoyed it. It was very demanding, but it made for definitely for good racing. So no, we had a good time. The weather was great. On Saturday it was perfect. Sunday it was a little chilly in the morning with a bit of wind, but other than that, yeah, you really couldn't have complained with the weather there. So no, definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. So a typical Canberra track. I've actually never raced there. What do you mean? Like, is it normally a bit rough or?
Yeah, down like it's basically it's kind of on the side of a hill. So as you leave the starting gates, you've got a half decent run to turn one, then you've got a sharp left turn, and it actually goes up a hill and round to the left, and sort of gets to a point where it kinks a little bit, and if you're game enough, you hold it flat. And yeah, and then it gets right up to the top where Canaan Corner is, and it's especially for the dirt track, it's a fairly tight U-turn hairpin. So yeah, and then you're coming back down the hill into a right-hander and then back down the bottom into turn one again. So a lot of those places there's yeah, braking bumps and holes and everything else. Like yeah, you can like the track crew did absolutely awesome to try and make it as comfortable as possible and all that stuff. But yeah, as everyone knows, it's dirt and it can changes continuously. So but yeah, no, we had an absolute ball, and yeah, there was a couple of crashes and all that. There wasn't too many. I think one young girl got taken away in an ambo, but I think that was just a precaution sort of thing. I'm hoping so anyway. So I hope she's all right and recovers well. And I think a few of the others were just yeah, a couple of lay downs. I know Jobbo went into turn one in his 450 race and I turned around and he's rolling down the track and up the hill, but he got up relatively quick, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, no, I had a great weekend and unfortunately, if everyone can remember from the last podcast how I went off about dates clashing and numbers being down, and this is the reason. Every class sort of had people there. Other than the women's class, there's only one. But yeah, having the dates clash definitely hurt the attendance. But all in all, who showed up Showed great racing, and even the Cup race, the Canberra Cup final race, that was good to watch too. There was some definitely some fast guys smashing bars up there. It was great to see.
Yeah, right. Is it next to the BMX track?
It's next to the motocross track. So
So what would it?
as you drive in the gate, you got the go-kart track on your right, motocross track on the left, and then you go up around the hill, and then it opens up for the dirt track.
What's it called? ACT Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can
Yeah,
bring up a picture. That looks like it.
yeah, that'd be it. Yeah, that's the address for it. So that'd be the motocross track.
Do you know what the address
Just
is?
go to Canberra Dirt Track, hit images, scroll up all the way up, and see it's got images.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hit that, and it should come. Something should. There you go. It should come up.
So it's this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna get it on maps because then we get a bird's eye.
Yeah, if you scroll down, you'll probably find a bird's eye view of it. If you go down a bit further. Yeah, well, that's a good the one in the middle there, but it's a YouTube video.
That one.
Yeah, it's a YouTube video, but it's yeah, it gives you kind of understanding of how the track goes.
Yeah, right. Let's have a look. Oh, if I knew it was called that, I would have searched that.
Yeah, you might have just scroll forward a bit and hit pause, and I might be able to explain if you how it all goes. Yeah, just pause it there. So if you
Rightio.
move your cursor to the far right, where you see all the buildings there, a bit further there,
That's
right
the
there.
start
Yeah,
start gate.
that's the start gates there. So obviously you leave the start gates, go down hard left, and then you start coming up the hill. You hammer
That's the
along.
trees.
Yeah, you keep going up and around, and then keep going. Keep going, keep going. Then it kinks there, so you're pretty much holding that dead flat. Yep. And you're coming around to where this guy is. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see that. But yeah,
Around to him.
yep, round to him. So obviously you can see where the long
Yeah.
track goes. So keep following it around. Keep going, keep going. So you can obviously see where the long track goes, but if you go infield there, that's
That's the right hander.
yep, that's the
Right.
dirt track there.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely a
It's
fast track, and you've got to get that top corner just right to be able to utilize the
yes.
rest of the circuit. But yeah,
So right. When you're coming down to where young bloke is here, yeah, you really that turns into a hairpin. It's not groomed in this video. But
no, I think that
yeah.
video, where was that for 2 years ago? So I don't think they used it a hell of a lot, but it
Yeah.
was good. It was definitely good.
Yeah, that looks like it'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a bit of fun. The long track's fast as anything. Last time I raced there at the start of the year, Matt and I did the long track, and yeah, he was just on it. Fuck, he was absolutely flat out. Yeah, the dirt track was fun. I haven't done that for, well, God knows, probably over 10 years. No, I definitely had a ball on that. I had a good old time.
Yeah, right. Looks like a
Yeah.
pretty cool venue. It's funny because that so going back there, looking at the long track, has actually got a bit of a kink in the straight by the looks of it, where you come back
Uh,
to where the
yeah,
start gate is.
not really. There are a lot of riders that sort of hug that fence where that rider is there and then try and sort of scoot a little
Yeah,
bit
or
to the
he
right in front of the start gates and get a good run in at turn one.
that's
But
what he
ideally,
does.
if you're on the right line, it gives you a perfect indication of exactly where you need to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, I definitely don't mind that track, and it's fast. I'm telling you what, coming up that hill when you're holding it flat out, it's definitely quick. But yeah, it's good though. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so you had some results for us. Was the weather did the weather hold off? It stayed all right, or
Weather was absolutely perfect. Like I said, on the Saturday, it was yeah, got there about 8 o'clock, I think it was. Set everything up, and that was great. Sunday morning, it was a little bit chilly with a bit of wind, but other than that, mate, perfect weather. You couldn't have asked for better weather. So yeah, the track held up all right. There was a few spots, like I said, that started taking a bit of rubber, and yeah, a few parts where it rutted up and things like that, braking bumps and whatnot. But you get that with every single dirt track. But
yeah.
yeah, made it a little more difficult on the sidecar. But you know what I mean? Your arms hurt for 20 minutes and then you're ready to go again. So no, it was a great weekend, and yeah, great results all around.
Yeah, fantastic. So you want to get into some of those?
Yeah, well, I'll start with the juniors. It's got the Nippers. Unfortunately, it's only got their first name. So the Nippers were Judd, Brianna, Oliver, Willow, Hallie, and Tasman. So yeah, there was obviously what, six?
Couple girls in there. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was hammering around. They were before the MX450 and before the sidecar, so you got to watch them hammering around and having a good old time. Some of them missed the checkered flag and did another lap, and some of them didn't get to the checkered flag and went to the return road. And yeah, the kids are having a ball. You can see So
I love
absolutely.
it. I love how terrifying it is watching the nippers for like when they're definitely like their first or second ride, and they're coming around pit corner, and mum and dad and everyone's up at the fence, and they're looking at mum and dad and waving,
Yeah,
look at the track.
there's a bit of that. The one
I
thing
love it.
the one thing that makes me laugh is you watch the little kids and they're having the ball, they're just riding around having fun, and then when they see the checkered flag, you see the head go down and the wrist twist a bit further, and they race past the checkered flag, and then they putt back around to the pits again, and you can see they're
Yeah, awesome.
having the best time. So no, it's good to see a couple of nippers out there having a ball. But I'll go on to Div 250 Auto. First place was Jax Pringle. Second place was Oscar Barella. And third place was Reagan Quinn. I didn't get to see a hell of a lot of the races as I was trying to get our stuff sort of sorted out and everything else as well, and helping Grant out as much as I can on the start line too, as well as his two boys, Mason Red, trying to help them out as much as I can as well. So yeah, I've sorry if I don't have much information about races at all, but I've definitely got all the results. The 65 class, 7 to 9 years. First place was Oscar Barella, second place was Jax Pringle, and third place was Ryder Nelson Collett. And yeah, that was a fair few 65s. Obviously, there's two age groups in that, but it's good to see some young riders jumping up into the 65s from the Div 2s from last year and whatnot. So you've got the 65, 9 to 13 years. First place was Cooper Quinn, second place was Sonny Bell Chambers, and third place was Mason Wild. And yeah, I'm proud of Mason. That's Grant's stepson, you could call him. And yeah, they were definitely riding for their younger brother that they yeah, unfortunately lost last week. The yeah, I really feel for Shah and Grant with the loss they had there, but definitely everyone rode their heart outs and did it all for little Remy. So I made sure I made a couple of decals and stickers and all that stuff to put on the bike as well to have the little man on us with us too. So
Mm.
yeah, it was definitely an emotional weekend, but it was good to have him out there and good to be able to be a part of it. So yeah, I was yeah, it was very very emotional in stages, but it was nice. So we'll go to the 85 to 150cc, 9 to 13 years. First place was Caden Lantry, second place was Cooper Quinn, third place was Quade Pringle. So yeah, massive shout out to Cooper Quinn. He's doing double duties on the 65 and 85, and yeah, he's been ever since I've watched him. He's been super fast. So yeah, I'd like to yeah, definitely shout him out every chance that I get. All right, 85, 150cc, 12 to 16 years. First place was Cade Finn, second place was Will Wiggins, and third place was Mason Botham. And yeah, they're definitely going for it as well. Those kids are definitely not shy of holding it absolutely whipped on the whole way. So it's going to be just interesting to see them in junior lights and further coming into seniors as well. It's going to be awesome. All right, 85 to 150cc, 11 to 16 years girls. First place was Paige Owen, second place was Millie Elphick, and third place was Evie Wiggins. So definitely the Wiggins crew have got some representation in dirt track, which is fantastic. They've got a pretty good setup as well. Talking about you with the Carters with all their professionalism and everything else in between. Yeah, they had all their bikes lined up and their camp set up pretty good too. So yeah, that was good to
Nice.
see. The professionalism definitely flows in the dirt track as much as it does flat track. So.
Yeah.
No, I like it a lot. All right, 200 to 250cc, 13 to 16 years. First place was Hayden Duggan, second place was Tommy Wright, and third place was Zach Brady. I do believe, I'm just going to have a quick look here. I'll talk about that at the end, but yeah, the 250 juniors are definitely up it for the rent as well. The numbers were down because a lot of kids would have been in the junior lights and the AFTN. So hopefully MA and M New South Wales and everyone else in between that want to pull the strings can get stuff like that sorted. And I know it's exactly not ideal, but race meetings are going to lack. People need to sort of start banding together and get things in order for every event to be successful. Because if you got, in 3 hours away, you've got a national and then you've got an open meeting and you're pulling riders from the same pool. So, like,
Mm.
something has to be done at the end of the day, or you're not going to have events run. It's as simple as that.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't care what it sounds like, but that's exactly what it is. So yeah, hopefully we can get that sorted out. Well, we've got the 150 to 250cc 13 to 16 years girls. First place is Paige Owen. Second place was Millie Elphick. So yeah, unfortunately, there's only a couple of those junior girls there, but congratulations to the both. Mod 7 to 85 years, which I believe is 85 cc's.
Yeah.
First place was Mason Wild. Second place was Sonny Bell Chambers, and third place was Brennis Johnson. Yeah, Mason got on the podium and was very brave and dedicated that win to his little brother. So that was definitely heartwarming. Yeah, like I said, definitely a very very emotional weekend. But yeah, over the moon to get out there and be a part of it. We've got encouragement awards. I'm not exactly sure how this is handed out, but I actually quite like seeing it. So the encouragement awards went to Cash Roller, Parker Richards, Zeb Butler, and Harry Godfrey. So I might actually look into that further on down the track to see
So
what they were
was that for a
for.
specific class or just
I'm not
for
a, I'm, I'm
competition?
I'm not sure. It just says encouragement awards, so I'm not sure if it was, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, riders that are
Bit of
just
a
coming back or riders that are taking
Yeah, I
over
like
there
that.
or
It's a bit of a bull sport sort of award. Like they
Hmm.
normally have that in footy and that sort of thing, and I
Yeah,
think that's a great idea. Yeah,
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 definitely. I was sort of backwards and forwards from the around the podium and all that stuff to sort of hear if that was announced, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that were the results for the juniors. So yeah, congratulations to all the junior riders that showed up and had an absolute ball. So. Good on them. So we'll go on to the seniors. We'll go to the vets. So over 35s, first place was Tim Darmody, second place was Steve Mason, and third place was Brock Illingworth. And I do
Did they
believe.
have good numbers in the vets? Or?
No, unfortunately not. I think there was five all up, and
Oh
I know
yeah,
Rod McDonald rocked up with his 500 slider, and yeah, the track definitely wasn't. It definitely wouldn't have been fun for a slider. So I think he did a couple of races, and I saw him driving out of the pits on the Saturday afternoon. So I think he pulled the
okay.
pin. So yeah, he could save himself for Corindai or another event that's a little yeah, a little more suited. But yeah, it's difficult with a bike like that. And he was the only one there on a slider too. So no, hats off for him coming down and giving it a whirl. But sometimes when you're not comfortable, you just got to pull the pin and. You know what I mean? Save yourself for the next one. So, same with the classics. There wasn't a hell of a lot, but first place was Steve Mason, second place was John Blundell, and third place was Michael Towler. And yeah, it's good to see the old two smokers out there and a few classics, which I believe is pre-90s now. So I think that opens a door for a few more riders to jump onto that class if it's offered at
Yeah,
other race meetings and things like that too. So. We'll get into go into pro women's. There was only one, so Taylor Street was awarded the win there. We've got MX 250, Angus Hutchinson, Rory Hutchinson, and Robert Darmody. I like to see brothers go head to head. I don't think
yeah,
either sort of dominated it. Any of the races, I think they sort of swapped positions. And the races that I did watch, I'm pretty sure they were next to each other the whole time. I think they were battling each other, and no matter what
yeah.
position they
Right.
were in. So that's awesome to see there. I've seen
Yeah, it's cool.
Angus and Rory's name on a lot of entry lists and a lot of race meetings too. So yeah, no, it's hats off to those guys for yeah for being as consistent as they are. I definitely love watching it. All right, we've got I'll go the MX 450, and this was good, and there was no excuses from Grant, but this was definitely good racing. The first place was Thomas Gott, second place was Grant Charnock, and third place was Angus Hutchinson. Yeah, I think Thomas used to be Grant's student, you could call. I think Grant coached him for a
No,
couple
yeah.
of years. So to watch the student sort of beat the master every time he come back in the pits, he's like, I need more horsepower, I need more horsepower, and he's just sort of clutching at the bit. But yeah, Grant rode amazing. But yeah, Thomas, he was on another level.
Yeah,
He's definitely, I think, pretty sure it's his home track, so
yeah, right.
he's definitely fast there and definitely showed it too. So that was awesome to see. So we'll get into the sidecars. First place was Grant Sharnock and myself. Second place was Jim Jobling and Dakota Lockie. And third place was Bo Beerley and Lionel Cornwell. And we had, I think it was seven that was, well, that were going to enter the meeting, and then one didn't have a passenger, and one had a family emergency, so couldn't make it as well. So there's only five of us, unfortunately, but it's still made for good racing. Yeah, Dodsey and Nathan come up as well, and Sean Griffith had Dakota on originally, and he couldn't ride the Sunday, so Dakota jumped on for Jobbo because Mardo couldn't make the Sunday. So it was a bit of swapping passengers around and things like that as well. But yeah, no, the meeting went ahead, and yeah, Grant
Uh,
like an absolute trooper, so it was good.
and I was curious because Brody Trembrath is normally Jim Jobling's passenger.
Yeah.
He was signed up for Clubman and AFTN, but I didn't see him there. So do you know what happened there?
Yeah, well, they've had a lot of flooding up around the Tamworth, Gunnedah region and all that, and they weren't 100% sure if they could get out, or if they could get out, they weren't 100% sure if they could get back in.
Okay.
And Brody's family run a business there in Gunnedah, so I thought it was a safe bet to not leave town
Right.
and be able to make sure that was all in order as well, which is completely understandable. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
left Jobbo without a passenger, and you got Mardo to jump on, but Mardo could only be there for one day. So I
Yeah.
think you could say lucky or unlucky that Sean couldn't continue and Dakota jumped on with Jobbo. So yeah, it was good that they could finish the meeting and still finish in second place. But yeah, that was the second time Grant's ridden my sidecar. I actually haven't ridden it yet at all myself, but
Yeah.
yeah, second time I've been on it, and second time Grant's ridden it too. So yeah, he rode absolutely awesome and loved every second of it. And yeah, we had an absolute ball. I was pretty pumped. I've never won Canberra Cup, so it was pretty good to
Hey,
get
awesome.
that ticked off. So I'm over the moon. So
Brought home the bacon.
we're getting to 150cc, 13 to 16 years junior cup, and I'll read out the results. Hayden Duggan was first, Tommy Wright was second, and Zach Brady was third. When you showed the footy or showed the image there of the track, see how the dirt track came around, then it cut in, or the long track came around and the dirt track cut in.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
where they put cones along to where the long track was, so obviously you knew you had to turn into the dirt track there. Tommy Wright was winning, and then one lap he went outside those cones. He didn't gain an advantage. I think he actually lost two spots. Went outside those cones and came back in again. Went through the pack and actually passed Hayden and took the win. But Tommy Wright, and I believe this is true, went to the officials and said, "No, I don't believe I should be awarded the win. I went off the track.
Oh,
Didn't gain a bit, but
right.
I went off the track, so Hayden should take the win, not me." So if that is the case, and I believe that was what I was told, if that is the case, mate, the sportsmanship in that is unbelievable, and I'm
Yeah.
super proud of you um, for going down that route. Even though that you didn't gain an advantage, you didn't do anything that was cheating in any way, shape, or form. You went off the track, you rejoined, actually to a disadvantage, and then come back and still won and handed the win over. Mate, I'm super proud to see that, and I'm super proud of you for that too. So I hope you're listening to this because when I heard that, that restored my faith in sportsmanship in general, not just in racing, in sportsmanship in general. So yeah, mate, hats off to you, dude. That was yeah, it was actually really nice to see. So yeah, well, the weekend was full of all it was full of
Warm
good stuff
fuzzies.
at the end of it. Yeah, it was. You know what I
Warm
mean?
fuzzies.
Like sometimes you get to some race meetings and there's just narkiness and bitching and shit fight and people doing this and that, and you walk away from it going like, I just feel odd about it. But that meeting there, you could sort of come away with it, win, lose or draw, and just go, you know what, that helped. That helped dirt track and flat track in itself. So
Yeah, cool.
I'll move on to the MX Open Senior Cup. And yeah, results didn't really much change from the MX 450, but first place was Thomas Gotts. He won the cup. Second place was Grant Charnock, and third place was Rory Hutchinson. Yeah, the battle between Grant and Tommy was definitely fierce, but yeah, Grant just didn't have the horsepower and yeah, didn't have the yeah, just didn't have it on the day to try and to get him. So yeah, it was awesome the prize money and and everything they handed up for that. So yeah, no, it was great to see, and congratulations to everyone that entered, not just the winners or people that got on the podium. And yeah, the club did an absolutely awesome job. It went super fast Saturday morning until there was a couple of crashes that sort of delayed it a little bit, but I think I was done by 2 o'clock. I think the presentation was done by 2 o'clock on Sunday Arvo. I think I got back here at geez, just after 5 o'clock. So like I had enough time to go wash the bike and everything else as well, and didn't have to do it in the dark or get home at stupid o'clock as well. So that was yeah, the club
Yeah.
definitely ran that extremely well. So they should be super proud, and I can't wait to go down next year and try and go back to back. That'd be pretty good. Hopefully they bring back the Kings and Queens of Canberra as well, because there's a few feature races the club throw in there as well, which is always fun. There's always some dicey moves and people doing dive bombs when it's a final or it's a feature race and things like that. So yeah, I can't wait to do a little bit more down there, and it is one of the closer tracks to me. So yeah, you've got to you've got to like those ones. But yeah, all in all, that was the 2025 Canberra Cup. So yeah, loved every minute of it.
Yeah, right. And so, do they get a bit of a crowd for that, or like how's it present?
Unfortunately not. I was standing with Grant sort of watching his young fella race, and I just said, "Oh, it's a bit cold, so obviously the crowd's going to be a little bit down." And I wasn't sure how much the track pushed advertising for it, but apparently the Australian junior titles, the whole top of the hill where that photo was taken or that footage was taken was all packed. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, it definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't for there. I think it would have been more friends and family and a couple of people on the hill with caravans and things like that as well. But I'd be lucky to be 20, maybe up on top of that hill. Like
Yeah,
spectators
right.
may not have been there for riders, but yeah, there wasn't a hell of a lot. But yeah, you can understand sort of thing. Like I'm guessing half the people was at Albury, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the
yeah.
crowd was definitely down, but yeah, the racing was great though. It was definitely worth a watch.
Do they have like camping facilities there and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, you can camp at the track. You can literally camp right where you pit. They've got
Oh,
showers,
right.
they've got toilets, they've got a canteen, they've got everything there that you need. Yeah, they've got yeah, I don't think there's anything you really can't get. Yeah, like I said, it's a big motorcycle facility, or actually sports facility. As you're driving the gate, the go-karts to the right, motocross tracks to the left. Dirt tracks up the back, and then I think off the back there might be another motocross track there again that they may have been just getting going. I think someone was saying, or re-groomed, or whatever it was. So they do hold, pretty sure they hold a round of the MX Nationals, or it might be the New South Wales MX state titles down there. So
Oh, right.
I wouldn't mind getting down there one day just to watch it. I know Yankee Steve was sort of etching me to go down there and flag and get up close with the action, but yeah, just haven't had the opportunity to do that. But yeah, it's definitely a great venue. But yeah, Canberra's cold, and especially in winter, Canberra is freaking cold. So yes,
Yeah. Bit like
everyone.
Ballarat.
That's exactly right. So if you're from Victoria, it's probably nice and warm. If you're from Sydney, like me, you freeze your ass off. But no, it was all good. Yeah, no, the boys had the
Yeah,
time
it's
of their life.
strange, isn't it? I find that Aubrey's further down and it's warmer,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think because it's still in
but
New South Wales, that's why.
yeah, and it's also off the coastline. It's where Canberra's on the coastline, isn't it?
Nah, Canberra's fairly inland. Yeah, Canberra's
What do they? They've got a big waterfront there, though, isn't it? Is that a lake?
nah, that's a lake. That's a yeah,
Ah, lake. Yeah,
or a
yeah,
dam or whatever it is. But yeah,
yeah.
no,
Right.
they're definitely far infield.
Yeah,
Definitely
right. I've
far.
got it.
Look at
I've
you.
got to
Look at
go.
you. You're gonna
Got
scratch
to
up on
go,
your
mate.
geology, mate, or
Yeah,
geographic, whatever the hell you want to call it. You gotta
yeah.
try.
I told you, I'm pretty shit at it.
No, it's a fair way. I think it's quite a few
I'll
hours
have
actually
to.
from the
I
coast.
thought there was. Yeah, I thought there was a
No,
port there. Or when me and Willow went there on our way back from Brisbane last year, it was night time. It looked like there was a port there, but it was all lights shining everywhere. I was just bedazzled, I think.
yeah, no, it's probably Parliament House and Elbow getting his bum out the window or something.
Yeah, it probably was. He's doing brown eyes out of Government House or
Yeah, that's
something.
right. Yeah, sticking across
Yeah,
those.
right. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that recap of the Canberra Cup. I'm with you. we knew this would happen down the track, but it is a bit crazy, the date clash stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like you say, we're pulling from the same pool of riders, or a very similar pool of
Mm.
riders. There's some people that don't want to come across the 19s, and that's fine. And maybe they're going to get more trophies. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure what the
Yeah.
answer is.
Well, I did speak to someone. I'm not going to say names or whoever else. I did speak to someone and say, like, why? Does anyone know why Corindi and Vic titles are put on the same weekend and all that too? And
Yeah, yeah,
I think people from Tamworth Club that are running Corindi Long Track contacted Albury Club about Vic titles and said, like, you know what I mean? The dates have already been out. You've thrown yours in the mix the same weekend. And I think the response was, oh, there was only 11 of our club riders that, or 11 of our riders or something like that, that went to Corindi. So what's the point of having a different date where there's not many riders that go? It's like, well, I dare
what
say
about the
there's a hell of a
riders
lot
that want
more
to?
that would want to do both other than just
Yeah,
that too. So I think it's,
I can understand what they're saying, but
yeah,
what about, because quite a few New South Wales riders would come down to race the Vic titles,
of course, yeah.
but but I don't blame them at all for going
Mm,
to Corindi. We don't get many chances to race a long track
yeah.
once a year, maybe. Well, especially now Bathurst isn't running. Corindi is
It's the
probably
only
the
long track.
longest
It's the only one.
like horse trotting track. I haven't entered either yet. I'm sitting on
Yeah.
the fence. I never had a bike set up properly enough to win a Vic title, so I'm leaning towards that because I feel that I've got a good chance now. But
No, that's completely understandable, and it all comes down to
but
like preference too.
but yeah, I mean, I wanted to do Corindi last time, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Vic title's probably going to win, and plus because we're going to, we've got a long trip up to Gunnedah for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Griffith's not too bad, but Gunnedah a big haul. I think my old man's coming over from New Zealand, hopefully,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're going to do a bit of a tour. Might go and do some camping and stuff up that way or something after it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it should be pretty cool. So looking forward to the last few rounds of the AFTN. Now my bike's feeling a bit more set up. I think some results will start coming. I'm not so certain in AFTN just because I'm not an oil track guy. But
Yeah.
there were moments in the TT, especially coming into the TT section, I'm going, this is the same braking system I need to use on oil, and this is
Mm.
working awesome. So now that the bike's settled down and I can trust I know that what it's going to do is what it's going to do, is where before I didn't trust, it just didn't feel grounded. It could be a different kettle of fish. We'll find out.
Have you ridden
Uh,
Griffiths before?
Once,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, cool. So you got an
but
understanding of it, yeah.
but everything was wrong. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I had the wrong tires. My suspension still wasn't right. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, also drove. I also drove up on the morning of the race day, which I really don't want to do. I want to come the night before because
Yeah.
it's a
Are you
lot
going to
better.
camp
Yeah.
at Griffith?
I needed to send out some feelers to find out what the go on that is. I didn't know if, because it's right next to the golf club. I didn't know if you can camp there or see it's accommodation or what.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to do the same thing because I've got to cut my holiday a couple of days short as it's the same weekend as Griffith, so I'll be leaving from the coast coming across instead of leaving from
what do
Sydney.
you mean cut? What do you mean cut your holiday?
Well, I was going down the holidays from Sunday to Sunday, and obviously the second Sunday is or the second Saturday is Griffith AFTN, so I'm gonna have to leave there Friday night and head over to Griffith instead of staying in
You
the sun
bloody, you
coast.
bloody always on holiday. What is it? Oh, bloody hell.
Like, what?
Every time I ask you, you're going on holiday
Who
or you're going racing.
you been talking to? Don't let the boss
So
know, mate.
is this? So I don't know. Does everyone know you've got a new missus? Like they do now, because I just said it. But
Yeah.
is this a dirty weekend away, or is it a family holiday? What's going
No,
on?
mate, it's a family holiday, you deviant, you bloody sex pest, Karen. No. Every year we sort of go away October and February down the same place down the coast. So yeah, I'm definitely going
Was
there.
that come around quick, isn't it? I remember you telling me you're doing that family holiday
Yeah.
last year, and it feels like bloody 2 months ago.
100% it does, yeah. Yeah. I was actually speaking
Crikey.
to the owners of the place that we're staying at as well. They're like, oh, yeah, and he saw you a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, nah, a bit longer than that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think I need to shut off for a week of, yeah, I'm going a bit wild at the moment now with the amount of shit that's going on. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's that time of year. We're pretty crazy down here as well. It's just like chasing the tail, but it will settle again, and then there'll be
yeah,
Christmas break and whatnot, and
yeah.
we'll be drinking beers and eating chickens. So,
100%, definitely, definitely.
rightio, so that's a wrap for this one. I'm not sure how this is going to be edited yet. I think we've almost gone for
2.5 hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I might make it too. We'll see. See, I don't know. It might be more interesting as one. I don't know. See how it looks when
Yeah,
I'm
just
when
chuck
I'm
chuck
going
it all
through it.
out there, bugger it. Gary will love it because it's a longer one. People will hate it because it's a longer one. At the end of the day, oh well, it's all
Oh, we're not here to please everyone. So
And
actually,
actually,
that's it.
quickly before we shut it all down, there is, and I know it's not flat track, and Darcy's probably gonna have a big cry and want to
Hold
apologize
on,
to
I'm
me
gonna.
even more.
Where's the? I'm just looking for the mute button.
There's
Oh,
another podcast that has started up called Aussie Flat Track Stories, and it's a lady named Jam that's a road race sidecar or historic road race sidecar passenger, and she's
sorry, say that name again. You said
sidecar
flat
stories.
tracks. You said flat
Oh,
track
sorry,
stories.
sorry,
Naughty boy. I'm
Aussie
gonna say.
sidecar
Why
stories.
should
My bad,
bloody
Aussie
call it that?
sidecar stories.
Stealing our thunder.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
still on it all. And yeah, she's just kicking it off. And I did an episode with her last week, I think come out last Friday too. So if you want to hear me talk more waffling on and sidecars have got a bit of an interest, it's yeah, you definitely hear me waffle on a hell of a lot more than I do here. So yeah, jump on
Yeah, I'm
that,
not
give it a
gonna
like and
I'm
have a
not gonna
listen.
mute you on
It's
that
real good.
one. I'll just share that. I think. Well, I saw the little clip the other day in between a shift, but I didn't get to investigate that more. I want to have a
Yeah.
watch of it too and see how much you ramble on
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see how well she takes it. That would be good. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, great to hear that more people are getting into doing some podcasts about the
Yeah.
sports, motorsports, especially two wheels, or in your case, three wheels. Yeah, great. It's a great. She saw a hole there and she's taken the chance to do it. And you were telling me she's covering not just dirt track, but
Yeah.
all sidecars, so speedway, road
Yeah, all
racing,
of them. She's
classics, everything.
trying to get as many different varieties on the podcast as possible, and as well at the end of
Yeah,
every episode, her young fella reads out upcoming meetings too. So she's
awesome.
not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
promoting sidecar racing; she's promoting all motorcycle racing and everything too. She's just her subject is sidecars. So it's if anyone's got any interest, yeah, Aussie sidecar stories. It's on Spotify at the moment now. So yeah, jump on and have a look. And yeah, no, it's really good.
Fantastic. So actually, it just prompted me there. Events coming up. So Aubrey's got their double header club meeting 6th and 7th of September. Is that right? September? Yeah, August.
Yep.
Yeah. And then followed by Vic Titles,
Yep.
which Corindai is the same weekend. So you're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah, I know you're gonna shave half your head and walk around going, you're half decided on what the hell to do. So yeah, you're
Well,
gonna have to,
we're going to go where the numbers are at. I think
yeah, gonna have to
all the
choose.
all the sidecar boys are going to band together, and I think everyone sort of
Oh,
said
cool.
Corindai. So I think we're all doing that. Well, the meetings that are coming up elsewhere as well. You got this weekend, Forbes have got a club day. The following weekend, Nepean's got a club day. Weekend after that is the Australian long track titles, and then you've got a week after that is Corindai slash Victorian titles. And then you got a week after that's a Cooper Classic in Kempsey as well. So there's a fair few race meetings
Mm.
bunched up and coming on towards the end of the year. So the next couple of months is going to be flat out for everybody as well. So hopefully MA can stop asking clubs to send dates and ask the clubs to start sending events. So MA can schedule a calendar probably hopefully efficient enough that they can get the maximum amount of number of riders at each event because I think asking clubs for dates, they're going to want all their open meetings and everything else at the end of the year where You know what I mean? Who can jam 8 race meetings in 12 weeks and stupid stuff like that as well. So I think it should be spread out more of the year. And unfortunately, if that area of the world is really hot and no one wants to race it because it's hot, or that area of the world's freezing cold and no one wants to race it because it's cold, at the end of the day, you're going to have to embrace the elements no matter what you do. It's never going to be ideal, but having the dates so close together like that, it's absolute shit. And I'm only saying it because it's making it extremely hard on everybody. You're not going to get the
Well, it comes,
events.
a financial thing too. I mean, week after
Yes.
week, especially with like, I would love to go to Kempsey. I'd love to go
Mm.
to Corindi. They're both, 13-hour trips more,
Yep. And 7 days
one
from each other.
one way.
Yeah.
And yeah, 7 days from each other. And I need, a couple of days each side to get up to them. So
Yep.
the
That's
only
right.
way I can do it is take 2 weeks off work,
Mm.
3 weeks off work, and just make it one big trip and just stay up there and then go to the events. But
That's
I
right.
mean, you're losing time at work, or maybe if you can plan it out well enough earlier in the year, you can take holiday leave. But then, what do you do at Christmas if your company shuts down and all that sort of
Exactly
stuff?
right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it brings in a lot of issues, the financial side as well of when they're that close together. I mean, I did. I didn't want to bring this up because I didn't want to. I don't want to sprinkle any negativity or anything, but I am hearing people talking about cutting back and that just because of the expense of racing everything, and
Yeah.
and choosing one style rather than the other. And yeah, look, it will all pan out in the end. It's not something that you have to get stressed out over, and that I
Mm.
don't think it's going to affect the sport too much. It will pan out over the eventually, but I don't actually know how. I can't see how, apart from like you say, that someone grabs the ball by the horns and says, "Okay, this is going to hurt us more than help us. We need to."
Yeah.
Like you're saying, we need to get the spread out so it's comfortable for everyone, so they can do multiple events. Um,
I actually had a 12-year-old kid say to me, like I just said then, about not MA asking the clubs for dates, asking for the events. I had a 12-year-old kid say, why doesn't Motorcycle in Australia just ask everyone for their meetings, and then in the calendar between February and November, MA goes, rightio, we're gonna do one every second weekend, or and things like that, or one every third weekend, and sort it all out that way. And I looked at the kid and I'm like, that's pretty freaking smart. Like, if think about it, if you're going to have an open meeting, you're going to want to run all your club days and then have your open meeting at the end of the year. Well, so is 50 other clubs. Like, and it
yeah,
ain't, it just, there's not enough weekends in the freaking year to be able to do that. And it starts to give me the shits because if a 12-year-old can come up with this, why can't anyone in an organization that runs the show come up with something like this? I'm not trying to arsehole them, but I'm kind of thinking that's a pretty logical answer. And if a kid can come up with it, well, shit,
yeah.
why can't they? So hate me for it.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
care. I'm going to say it how it is because it's shit and everyone's thinking it. I'm saying it. So there it is.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's all right. That's what the pod's for. You can voice your voice, and like I hate mentioning their names because they might not want me to say it. But anyway, yeah, someone was asking me, how the pod's going and that, and the pod's going great for me and Tom. We love doing it, but to be brutally honest, like I feel like we don't have any traction. Like we don't hear anything from many people. Like every now and then, like when people came up to me at the track, that's fantastic. We want to hear from you online. We want to we
Hmm.
want it to be more interactive and to grow. And we have some partners and that, but we don't. It's very much scratchy back sort of terms on
Hmm.
on the contracts of those partnerships. We're not making oodles of money doing this or anything, and it's not actually about making oodles of money. But
Yeah, I was going to
if
say,
if
there is no money.
look, I can 100% guarantee, and I know it's blowing my own horn, and I could say it, and I could say it as much as I want, but a horse may not drink. If we make money from this podcast, it will come back to the sport
Yeah.
in one way or another. I mean, well, like with the affiliate program, that is a referral program, and you have to put work in to make money from it. but you can. And we've offered people spots on that affiliate program, and they have to put the work in to get anything back from it.
Yeah.
But the reason I've done that is because with what little money I was making from the business, I could only support one or two people doing that affiliate program. You're going to help boost our business up by advertising us and hopefully cover some of your racing costs. And we can offer that opportunity to more people. But I can offer, I can say, I can, blow on here as much as I want. But if people don't step up, nothing changes. Nothing will happen. If people don't realize that you do have to, Tom and I are putting a lot of work in to make a difference. And we're happy. I'm not saying we want money for it. We're happy to do it. Nothing comes for nothing. We will get rewarded in the long run, one way or another. And I already feel we do. Like that, people coming up, and even young Elijah, even though he didn't know about the pod, we're making a dent in the sport. We're making a difference, and that's what counts. Yeah, you guys, we need you to interact and need to keep the spirits high all round, and we want to build it up and build you guys up too. But we can't do it on our own, Or it's like I'm drive Tom nuts here. I'm going to go to Willow's footy team. They've got 5-star players and everyone else is dropping the ball. It's like, come on, guys. You have to if you're not making a mark or you're not picking it up, you got to work on that skill and until you are, and it's the same in our sport. We've all got to work together and we've all got to put in. And you might not want to put in as hard as another, but you've got to put in something. And if you don't, you'll fall away like so many other people have away from our sport. And that's your decision. I'm not saying otherwise, but I'm just saying, come on, guys, step up. We want to hear from you. We want interaction. We want to show our partners that there's value, so that they invest. They help me get the Victorian series going, so there's more racing for you. Another product to present to higher potential bidders. I'd love to get some big names on. Imagine if we got a Mission or a Coles or a Woolies on board, that had big budgets. The sport, we're on the verge. This is, I keep saying I sort of feel like we're going to explode. We're on the verge, but don't give up, guys. We want to hear from you. We want an online presence that we can present and help move the sport forwards and show, and I'm happy to be honest, I'm happy to do it for dirt track, flat track, and fucking sidecars. You heard it once only. I'll never say it again.
Clip it, and share the shit out of that.
But we're all in the same family, and like Tom said a couple of times on this pod, we're pulling from the same pool of people. We need to work together and keep pushing this, because we're going to push it to being on the news more regularly. You're not just going to get footy updates, you're going to get flat track updates, and that's what I want to see. I want to see on fucking Channel 9 News or Channel 7 News, Tommy Herrick and Tom Armstrong had a bloody fisticuff in their band for a year in the pits. I want to see it on. I want to see it in the
like
news.
We've seen on the Speedway last week. Yeah.
Yeah, like on the Speedway. Come on, guys, we can pull this off. And this is what's been lacking in Australia, is that community doesn't keep pushing to raise the bar, and that's what we're asking. Get off your ass,
if you
do
don't
a
want
bit
to
of
be on
work.
social media and ask the question to us in that way on a public forum, send Darcy and I a message on Facebook, like Facebook
and
Messenger, and just say, hey, can you
we'll
ask this question, or can you throw it out there? We don't have to say your name or whatever, but the more you guys interact with us and the more feedback we get from you, the more we can feed off that. If it's only Darcy and I butting heads together and coming up with stuff, well, that's the only thing that we can deliver. But if you've got feedback from juniors, seniors, women's, vets, dirt track, long track, flat track, everywhere else as well, we can get the questions out there and we can get the answers and the correct answers sort of given back to us as well. And you know what I mean? If you come up and say good day at the track, mate, I'll give you a shout out. I've got no worries in the world. Like I've got so many people saying, "Oh man, you said my name. That was awesome." Well, I'll say it again, and you know what
Well,
I mean.
so we did it.
Your
We've done
business.
it. We've done it today. I did it with Shane's question about the tyres. Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
get the answer from Tom, but I think it's I'd say it's across the board answer in the top top 10 riders. Next pod, I'm going to do a viewers question segment. So make sure you get some questions into us. So we've got some questions to
Yes,
answer
heaps of
or
them.
talk
As
about.
controversial
So
as you want them.
yeah,
Ask what color Darcy's underwear is. Send what kind of ball polish he uses on his head, mate. Everything. Send it all in.
yeah, that's
We
it.
want it
That's it.
all.
It can be lighthearted, it can be
Yeah.
serious. Up to you. Just send us in a question or something you want to know, and we will try our best before the next pod to answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you just send that into info at KLAVR flattrack.com. So that I'll say that again, info@KLAVR flattrack.com. Send in viewer, and just under subject, just put viewer question. Yeah, we'll do a segment at the end of every pod from now on, viewers questions. If we don't have any, I'm going to start making people up. But yeah.
If it's easier not to if it's easier than sending an email, send me the question. Just say, hey, I've got a question. I want you guys to find it.
Facebook Messenger or
Yeah,
whatever.
Facebook
Yeah, it doesn't.
Messenger. You've all got me on there. If not, you can all message me. Yeah, it should be easy enough as that. So yeah, definitely, I'm definitely all for that idea.
It could be even why is Tom's background blurred and he hasn't got logos up to date. Yeah, I know the answer,
Yeah,
but we're not going to tell you now. You're going to have to ask a question. There
yeah,
you
that's
go.
right. Yeah.
I gave you a free question. The other one could be why does Darcy's glasses look different? It could be anything as
Yeah, because
stupid as that.
everyone's keen about
Oh
that.
yeah, I know. Well, how's he
Yeah.
get his teeth so white?
Yeah, Oh, good stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that's another morning pod. I'm sorry, I am a harebrain in the morning. Worse, I know I'm not much better at night, but it is worse in the morning. You guys know what to do. Keep it sideways. Go flat tracker. Until next time, we love you guys. Catch you then.
Go flat tracker. Go flat tracker. Go, go, go.